Or, we could just have fun.
Or both.
Why not both?
Very true.
All right. Should we cover what happened last time? Everybody remember where we left off? Quite a bit happened last time.
Mm-hmm.
You met the Reclaimer, Topa. You guys really liked him. Everyone thought he was really great.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that specifically.
Really got our goat going.
He wanted penance, but he didn't get it. And you're going to go to the barge, and he tasked you with making sure that the antiquarians that go in never, ever come out. And to seal the place behind you if you could. And then he sent a letter to the prince asking him to back him up as far as giving you immunity in the city. And he also posted the letter to the prince on a bunch of boards around town. And sent you on your way. He told you the antiquarians were going in the Ark, or rather the Golden Barge, tomorrow.
This is true.
And I think after rescuing Awa from captured by the Black Candle, you set him up at an inn and headed out of town early to try and get a jump on the antiquarians guarding, or rather the antiquarians who were planning to delve into the barge. And that was where we left off. You heading out of the city. And, a lot of religious tourists also kind of heading the same way as you. Golden Barge on the horizon.
Another huge task that I have no idea what we're going to do.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun. Before we start, I'm going to take an aspirin real fast. 1 second.
I thought he said was going to say nap.
I'm gonna take a nap. I'll be right back, y'all. Nah, I feel like I'm about to get a headache.
20 minutes later.
BRB.
Damn, bollocks.
Are we just gonna go to the barge? Is there anything else we're gonna do?
Thought
I think we were trying to get a head start, right?
I think we're already moving, aren't we?
Yeah, we're on our way there.
Halfway to town or something, or
Yeah, because we wanted to get there early before we wanted to beat the rush or whatever, right?
Yeah, they were. I think they're going to start letting people in the next day, so we're just going in there early to hopefully clear it out and board it up before anyone gets there.
yes.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
No problem.
I feel like my headphones are squeezing my head too tight.
That's how
Um,
mine were. A couple weeks ago, I had to switch to earbuds.
I was thinking about it. I'm just doing one headphone instead.
I bet it looks cool, like a DJ.
Yeah, for real. Okay. So yeah, we left you heading out of Ark towards the Golden Barge. Let's see. And it was probably around a little after midday that you left.
A little after midday.
And it's a bit of a trip there, so it's going to take you until, you know, you probably get there really late, like midnight. You might want to stop and camp halfway. But it's your choice.
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't hate camping.
I mean, is that going to hold us like the time that we're trying to get there before? Because we were trying to get there before, you know, that's not going to mess us up, right?
before the others enter.
They're
Yeah.
entering tomorrow, yeah, so you'd either get there early tomorrow morning or like super late the same day.
So if we camp, we'd end up getting there late the same day.
Sorry, if you camp, you'll get there tomorrow morning early, and then later that same day they're gonna try and go in.
Ah, so we'd still be ahead of them.
Yeah, by a good, margin, but not nearly as much as if you powered through. But you would also have to hike through this, fairly well traveled path, but still out into the desert at night. As you guys are hiking, these kind of dune trails, these kind of, rough walking paths of footprints and camel dung and stuff that, trail towards the Golden Barge to the desert. You're joined by a lot of tourists, which I mentioned last time. They mostly have guides and like guards as well. Pretty much every single one does. There's maybe one or two that don't, but they're like kind of sticking with the other packs of people. A lot of them are even being carried on palanquins by, servants or by camels. And they're heading to the barge and then the rim spire afterward.
I'm gonna put my opinion out there that we should be getting there as soon as possible. I don't think we got time for camping and resting. Not if we want to make sure that we have as much time as possible in the Golden Barge. We have no idea what's waiting for us, and there's what I'm saying. Which means that any time spent inside could be prolonged by extenuating circumstances.
I mean, is everybody rested? Does anyone need a lot of sleep? I mean, I could take it. It'd be nice to try to learn this new spell again.
I don't think I've expended any of my magical resources.
Yes, I'm prepared in an arcane sense, but it's quite a long day arriving at midnight and going through the night.
I mean, so long as we can buy ourselves enough time to get in there ahead of anyone and try to find a way to seal it, either option works. Question is which option sounds best?
Well, put it to a vote. Who wants to camp and who wants to push through?
Is there danger? Is there danger out here? I'm sorry, I'm just not familiar with this area. I mean, we're just gonna be camping out here, wanted with this bounty on our heads.
If I'm correct in my assumption, you raised a good point there. I don't think we're considered in the protection of the city anymore, which means that whatever promises the Reclaimer gave us are null and void out here. All
And
the
what
more
about
reason to keep
coyotes?
moving.
Wild animals? I don't know. I mean, I don't like to stay up late into the night normally, and
I remember I was saying something about giant scorpions. He mentioned some other things, but the scorpions are what really stood out to me.
Probably gnolls too.
Flying apes, good lord.
All right, so who wants to stay? Who wants to go?
Well,
All right, everyone for staying, raise your hand.
Cedric would
And
raise his
camping.
hand and look around.
I said Dante's got his up too.
All right, that's two. Everyone that wants to push through the night and get to the Golden Barge, raise their hands. Ray raises his hand.
I'll raise my hand. I mean, I will. Cora will kind of reluctantly raise her hand. Sorry, Cedric. I mean, if you need to sleep, I'll do it. But I just feel like we need the cover and we need a plan. I can't be assassinating people once we get in there. I mean, we're not gonna do that, right?
We're not going to do that, but that means that we have to clear the Golden Barge as fast as possible so that we can close it behind us and ensure no one else can get in, which is why I'm so stringent on how much time we have in there. And I look over to Zuzu and I say, it looks like yours is the only vote not counted for.
Zuzu just laughs and says, "There's no way I'm casting a vote now. You guys have to figure this out between you. Somebody has to be convinced."
Well, I changed
Very
my vote to
helpful.
sleep. There we go.
What?
I'm not going to carry resentment for this action, so it's up to you guys.
Okay.
Oh, don't matter no more anyhow, because Cora has voted to sleep.
There we go.
I'll take first watch.
I
I'll
can
take second watch.
stay up with you a little bit. I'm gonna try to memorize this spell I picked up. See if I can master it or not.
Yes, I may prepare something different, and I'll.
What do we decide on scrolls? You have to attempt to write those into your spell book?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll do that too.
You just make a intelligence check plus the spell level to see if you're able to copy it into your book.
Is obscuring mist? Is that level 1 or 2?
I cannot remember.
What was it level
Gaddy.
2?
Yay!
Damn it.
Nice.
Normal. Modifier 2. Ooh, we got it. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yay, I know all two spell slots filled now.
All right, so yeah, you guys make camp on the side of the road. I mean, you hike the rest of the day first, so we're jumping ahead a little bit here. As you hike throughout the day, again, you know, there's just a line of people, you know, dotting the dunes in front of you and behind you, traveling the same route. Many of them foreign, many of them rich, many of them servants, you know, from Ark, blah, blah, blah. Some of them pass you, you know, and you pass some of them just because you're walking faster as the day goes on. But also you notice, I think, that more and more crows and like magpies kind of start swarming the skies a little bit. To the point where they get rather loud as a bunch. And you notice that it seems like the whole kind of path, like they're like following you. A trail of crows and magpies out of Ark. They don't say anything or come low. They just stay high in the sky and kind of like almost black out the sun at some points, which is actually kind of a relief, I'm sure, on this super hot day. But they just get thicker and kind of louder as the day goes on. There must be hundreds of them.
Has anyone else noticed that there's something weird going on with birds and us lately?
Seems like I appreciate the favor of them covering up that sun, give me some shade, but I hate to take any favors from a crow.
Yeah, I mean, usually I consider birds amassing like this a sign of ill omen, but hey, at least they ain't vultures.
Well, my daughter always used to say, maybe they're going to a party. When we'd see a lot of birds or animals together, we try to figure out why. Well, maybe they're going to a bird party. So that's what I like to think. Maybe there's a big bird party somewhere.
I didn't realize he had a daughter.
Oh yeah, I've had my babies. They're all grown now. They don't need me anymore.
Oh, babies always need their mama.
I like to think that.
All right. Well, you continue on. And yeah, night falls as you hike. The barge gets closer on the horizon. But yeah, it gets dark and starts to get pretty cold, I think, as well. And after a while, you're just passing the camps of other travelers who have now broken camp with their wagons and camels along the side of this, path through the desert. So yeah, your choice. You can settle down and camp with some of these folks, like join just any random caravan you come across, or just do the same and stake out your own spot along the side of the road. Your choice.
Do any of them seem to be fellow worshippers of the mother, or are these all like fancy lads that worship the fancy god?
No, these seem to be all followers of the father and the mother, and some of them, there's like a side saint as well. The brother is what he's called, but there's a saint name for him. I can't remember offhand. But yeah, they all seem to be old god followers. In fact, I think you start noticing more and more throughout the day, Cora, that you're hearing songs you recognize echoing from these other caravans, singing, people singing religious songs as they hike. And you also, notice the sign of the mother multiple times.
This is definitely like encouraging to her, but also she's just kind of like thinking about her reputation and what people think of the Bone Legion, and if these people have heard of the Bone Legion and like the story that they have is, so not aligned with the truth or with her beliefs. So I think she's also a little bit like, I don't think that we have a very good reputation. That she'd probably say that, like, I just don't know if any of these people are, they might think we're tricksters or double crossers, and I just don't know what to believe.
I'm thinking staying with the numbers might still be our best bet. Reputation or no. I am not so experienced in desert matters, but, safety in numbers. They may not like us, but I prefer to have more bodies around us regardless.
I guess that's true.
I don't know about you lot. I personally don't feel especially threatened by these church folk. But, well, assumptions can be deceiving. For all we know that they're so in line and wait here just for us, as crazy and wild as that might seem.
Well, I gotta say, I think that you might have seen some church folk do some pretty powerful things recently. So don't underestimate the power of a believer. They got God on their side and they'll whip your ass.
Oh, believe me, I ain't underestimating their power. I'm more trying to estimate how likely they're to use that power against us in a harmful way.
All right, that's better then. You just mind your words there.
Hey, listen, this is all about whether or not they have a bone to pick with us, not about where their faiths lie.
She smiles at you, gives you a little wink. She's just ribbing you.
Why are you winking at me? Am I making sense?
Oh, you just make me laugh. Okay, well, you know what? Safety in numbers, you're right. I don't want to stay necessarily maybe not with anybody. I'm just kind of ashamed, I guess. I don't know. People think I'm a criminal. I never had a reputation for anything like that.
Not so bad. You get used to it.
Somebody pick a spot.
I suppose I never have either. I am a criminal. I thought we'd be known for our daring escape. But I guess, well, there are some who would consider us a band of outlaws.
It's all about the
Technically
spin you put on it.
Yeah, technically speaking, we are, as of this moment, outlaws, whether we like it or not.
It is rather exciting, isn't it? I hadn't thought of it that way. Cedric, the outlaw. Ha ha ha!
Or do you recognize any of these songs they're singing? Like, what are these songs about?
Oh,
I mean, I know
well,
they're religious, but
yeah, we used to sing them a little different. Um, just to changing up the words a little bit, and I miss out on that low voice chiming in, repeating the thing somebody just said underneath. They don't do that here, but most of them are just about. I mean, the ones about the mother I recognize, of course, we sang them too. I don't recognize all of them, but they're just about compassion and finding the good. There's some that are stories of you know sacrifice and you know I don't know how to say it, being overlooked, because being underestimated, I guess. People tend to underestimate the mother because she's a woman and because kindness can be confused for weakness. So there's a lot of songs about just overcoming that and just, giving love, showing love.
well, sometimes the best way to make friends is to share a song with them. You seem
Oh.
to know some of these songs. What, why not pick a group? See if we
Oh,
can strike
I
up a
thought you were going
conversation.
to ask me to sing a song with you. I was going to say, I'm a terrible singer. I
I mean,
guess I could.
I'll play along if you want to, join one of these groups and share.
Yeah, so I guess I will seek out the most, I will try to find by looking like a group of people that seems like jovial and welcoming and the same kind of class as we are, just because I don't, we're just like normal folks. And she will try to use her trait as folksy to kind of find a people and walk up on them, and as they're reaching maybe the climax or one of the more fun parts of one of their songs, chime in as well and see how that goes.
Okay. I guess I'll let you choose wisdom or charisma. I'm sure wisdom's probably your better stat.
Yeah, my charisma is garbage.
And
If
yeah.
I play my instrument, can I give her a little support in this?
Yeah, I mean, she's already rolling at advantage
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind.
with
I
her
didn't know that.
trait, but
Moral
that doesn't
support.
mean you can't chime in, and play.
Oh, definitely playing.
Woo, 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 woo.
Whoa!
Oh boy.
All
So
right.
she comes in, so she sings her, in harmony. She's an alto, and she's not a great singer, but what she lacks in skills, she's like a good karaoke singer. Like, she's got heart.
Yeah, so I mean, you find a group of I think like 10 or so people with like one wagon and maybe 2 camels, and it looks like a few locals with them as well who are probably guards. They're carrying spears, like they have maybe 3 guards with them, and then these 10 people all huddle around a big fire. They don't have like much food or anything. They look a little more modest than a lot of the people you've seen traveling. And yeah, they're singing Mother Forgiver, a classic hymn. And you recognize it immediately. You guys, come forward and you join in. You just kind of, sidle in, Cora, and I don't think anyone even notices, acts like you shouldn't be there. Everyone just kind of acts like you should fit in. And when the song, finishes, a lot of people laugh and clap and, go about talking to each other and grabbing food from the fire. And I think like a young woman with a younger kid beside you is like, well, that was a nice rendition. Where are you and your friends from?
Oh, thank you. I just, that was it. Really, I needed that. That warmed my heart. Oh, we're just traveling. We're all from different places. Kind of found each other out here and wound up being kind of a ragtag group together. So you never know who you're going to meet out, I guess, in the desert. Isn't that right? And she pulls out her chalk that she has in her purse and finds like a stone or something and draws like a game on like a tic-tac-toe sort of thing on it, and then hands a piece of chalk over to the little boy to like start playing this game with her.
Okay, yeah, he'll start going about playing this game with you and laughing, and the mother will be like, I guess that's how we all came together, isn't it? I'm so glad Iago was able to take initiative and put this together for all of us. He's such a brilliant man.
Oh, are y'all traveling with a big group here? Not just a dozen of you or so?
Well, just us 12. I don't really know any of the others. None of us could afford a group of guards, so Iago took a collection. So us poorer folk could come as well, safely, with our children.
Well, that's so nice. I don't think I'm familiar with. Did you say Iago?
Just Iago. That's him over there. She points at like a guy with kind of a long Fu Manchu like mustache and a black ponytail, and he's like laughing and drinking and kind of strumming at a little lute with some other men over by a barrel on the other side of the fire, kind of next to the cart. She's like, it's his cart and camel.
Oh, well, doesn't he look like a barrel of monkeys? Look at him over there having the best old time. I'm so glad y'all are here. Now, where y'all from?
Oh, we've come from far, far to the north.
Oh, that's where all the good schools are.
Yes,
She laughs.
that's right.
Oh, you beat me, she says to the little boy. And she, gives him a little wink and tousles his hair.
She's like, I suppose that's why Iago was such a blessing. It's not often that you find a local in Ark City who's a true devout believer in the father and the mother.
I know. I was shocked to see all these people out here. I guess maybe I lost track of time and don't realize the big events going on anymore. I just feel like I've been wandering. I kind of feel like I'm starting to get found though.
Well, if you truly believe in the power of the mother and the father, then you should know that this journey's sacred. This is an important pilgrimage for all of us. The Rimspire truly is an amazing place, important to our history.
I can't wait to get there. We're heading that way too. So I really can't wait to. I got some hard praying to do. When you got something weighing on you and you need to go have a talk.
She's like, you'll be able to do that there. The priestesses of the mother will help you find forgiveness. And fertility, if that's what you're looking for. She kind of smiles at you. She's like, you're a little older, but the mother might bless you.
Oh, I had my babies. I had my babies got babies. But I guess never. What is it my mom always used to say? A baby is always a blessing. So that'd be crazy.
She's like, well, you'll be blessed with many things when we arrive at the Rimspire. I think she might call it by a different name, like an old, older words. She calls it Gimlick Spur, which I think then you kind of recognize that name, Cora.
Okay.
This is an important spot to your religion and the religion of the father. This is where the father and the mother were married, apparently, and where they lived for a while.
Yeah, I was trying to play it like maybe Cora knows because I obviously don't.
Yeah.
But I'm like, maybe she doesn't know either. So I'm like, well, I'll just play it like either way. If she knows, she just doesn't get into it.
I mean, I think you kind of recognize it now. I don't think you were certain where exactly it was.
Sure.
And I also don't think every sect thinks they should do a pilgrimage here. That just might be, certain far away people. It seems like like they said, they're northerners, from a different country, possibly by their accent.
Right. Okay, cool. Well, she doesn't want to let on that she's just now figuring this out and at all. She doesn't want to have her face be like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for making me feel so welcome. You don't know how much I needed this for my soul.
She's like, of course, and her son keeps playing with you, and she offers you food and drink, and you kind of hang out for a while. While you're doing that, I want to cut to the others. I think after a few minutes, Yago notices the rest of you standing around with your weapons uncomfortably while Cora talks to this woman. And Yago comes over, and he's like, "Are you looking for mercenary work?" He kind of nods to your weapon already.
No, I'm afraid we have our own line of work beyond that for the moment. We're mostly just looking for a spot to camp down for the night. We were hoping we might find some in this circle.
Yago's like, "Yes, you could join us to camp, but I just don't want you to make anyone uncomfortable. This is a tour, you understand?"
Oh, certainly. If anything, we would like to we can stay out of your way. But even on a well-traveled road like this, I mean, deserts are dangerous. We'll do what we can to stay out of your hair.
He's like, "I appreciate that. Enjoy the fire."
Thank you kindly. You got s'mores?
S'more what?
Yeah, that must be a Iridian thing. Never mind then.
He turns and heads back to the other men over by the barrel. They kind of eye you for the rest of the night and talk, but they don't really bother you.
Stands up and is like, "Where are my manners? I'm so sorry." And she I got caught up in this. I just couldn't help it, a little girl talk, I guess. And she's like, "These are my friends. Come on, sit down, boys. Like, it's fine. They ain't gonna bite." And she tries to make you guys seem like you're fitting in more with the group.
Hello there.
Hello.
Cedric would start doing little finger magic tricks for the kid that's sitting there. There's other kids too. He just kind of be like, do little kind of like the same thing. He was like running magic through his. It's just like little illusions, but he's just doing little tricks with his fingers, showing him like making a dog and stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'd all gather around for that. Stupid little shits.
Oh, dang, Cedric. Now you're making my chalk game just look like nothing. Gotta come in here, steal my thunder. And she gives you an elbow and a nudge and a little smile.
I erased the chalk game with my foot.
I cry.
Almost like they're brother and sister.
All right, yeah, so you kind of assimilate into the camp. Again, the other people there really don't seem to question it, because it seems like most of them don't know each other in this camp. It seems like that might be the only way for kind of poorer folk to afford, like they said, kind of a safe pilgrimage. Is guides like this guy will take up money from a bunch of people and just get like a couple guards, as opposed to like the others who are like, riding in carts and, like I said, being carried and so forth. But yeah, you enjoy the fire, the food. You camp for the night. They, have their guards keep watch and all that, so you don't have to if you don't want, but of course you still can.
I think Cedric might ask,
Dante, what spell were you working on today?
Oh. Back when we were in the Ark, I picked up a little thing called Obscuring Mist. It's makes things hard to see, but it could be a fun one to use for performance, Puff off some mist and emerge from it playing my instruments and, just really start to tear up a song.
Yes, Obscuring Mist. Now you play it with the semantic component being a song. That's quite interesting.
Well,
or the
yeah.
verbal component, obviously not the somatic component.
It just it helps focus me, I guess, whenever I need to try to tap into these abilities. If that's what you want to call them.
This is quite extraordinary. I could never sing when I was casting. It seemed like patting your head and rubbing your stomach.
Where do you find your power for what you do? Because I've noticed sometimes it's magnificent, and other times it's what's the word? Limp? No. Uh,
Limp.
I guess. Well, it's just
Flaccid.
it seems soft sometimes. Sometimes it's just like a poof of magic, and then other times it's like a blazing glory of magic blasting across the entire room. And I mean, where do you find such abilities, and where do you think they come from? Because I honestly have no idea where I picked up these skills. Maybe luck.
Well, as far as the inconsistency in my casting, that's certainly the result of my inexperience and my lack of knowledge.
Inexperience. You're like, I mean, I no harm by this, but you might be what 60?
Oh, you're too kind, thank you. All right, I'm nearly 70,
Oh my! Well,
but
you
I've only been practicing magic for, well, really less than a year. A year or two, I guess.
and you actually like practice it. You don't just doesn't just come to you because I mean I study some stuff and I play with it, but it's just never really seemed like a struggle. Sometimes I can feel it in me. Other times it just I don't know.
Well, I did have a certain aptitude, but it was strictly forbidden. And my control of the skills I did have was elementary. I didn't have much variety. But I did have quite a natural aptitude that I am really only now starting to unlock. It's quite extraordinary what you can do with a little hard work.
I guess it's like learning an instrument. 20 minutes a day, right?
Yes, yes. I guess it is kind of an art form, harnessing the energy around us. Magic is the material between reality. When I cast it, I'm manipulating the fabric of existence in order to fundamentally alternating what is. But it's nothing that you or anyone else couldn't learn. Recognizing that power within yourself, focusing it, projecting it outward, whether it's a musical instrument or the result of some movement in a magic word, there really is no difference.
Really? So you think someone like a Reddy could learn magic?
No, not like a ready, but if Harati was completely different than he is and wanted to devote, yes, even a Reti could cast a simple spell.
Interesting. Never thought of it like that. We should probably get some sleep if we want to get up early, don't you think?
Oh yes, very good.
Always a pleasure talking with you, Cedric.
And you as well, my boy.
All right, so you head off to your respective bedrolls and camp the night. I think there's a lot of talk around the camp about the strange behavior with the crows and ravens and magpies and so forth. And people stay up late drinking and talking, but other than that, it's uneventful. You sleep the night and wake up.
Cedric pointedly says nothing about the birds.
You wake up with the heat of the morning sun, just sweating in your armor. And the people in the camp are already almost completely packed up, like they're starting to walk into the desert. People are already passing by you from further back up the trail with their guards and carts and camels. singing their hymns and so forth.
All right, gang, time to get a move on. We need to make tracks today. Make up for time lost with sleeping.
Cora's been up. She got up early to do her prayers and stuff, so she's ready to go. Sweaty.
Ooh, Cora, you smell.
You know what? Sweaty. You know, women in my family, we sweat and we're hairy, but you know, we're beautiful.
Well, fair.
It's just being human.
Cora's mustache glistens in the sunlight.
Yeah, for sure. Her hair is like, you know, all the sides of her hairline. She's got all these like broken hairs where her hair's not growing in as strong as it once was, and a lot of baby hairs, and it's just like matted to her forehead, and she's just like sweating.
So yeah, you set off hiking, closing the last small distance to the barge. In the morning sunlight, when you kind of get close to the barge, you can see they've kind of built a little, you know, half city. There's like an encampment near the base of it, and the road goes past it and onto the rim spire, like, which kind of basically, you know, past this barge, you can see you go down the other side of the dune it sits on, and then it's like a canyon rimmed by, you know, big red rock shelves, and up on that shelf is the rim spire, this like big red rock tower. And that kind of sits on the horizon. The road leads from here to there. But, you know, as you kind of come into this little town, you see that there are all kinds of little merchants and stuff set up here. And I think the first shop you pass is a bunch of little kids who are selling these, like, silver-looking cloths. They have, like, masks and all kinds of garments with, like, silver and gold, like, kind of gleaming thread. And, you know, they're peddling it as fabric woven by the mother's loom and selling it, and like all of the tourists are stopping and buying these fabrics and these garments.
I have a question. Is this barge like blinding?
It is, yeah, it glistens really. I think right now you're on the shadow side of it, but it is incredibly glistening.
I would just imagine like this desert sun shining down on gold.
Nightmare.
Oh, look at these little sweeties with this. Oh, well, how much, baby doll?
200 silver. She's like, or the mask for 100. She like points to a much smaller garment.
Too rich for my blood, baby doll, but you know, maybe I'll come into some good fortune, and you bet you'll be the first one I find. Wait, 200 silver, Jesus.
They immediately just like blow past you and start talking to some other tourists who walk up behind you, and those people just start shelling out coins.
Better have the mother's lipstick print on it for that much.
People are saying, oh, it's a miracle. It still works after 2,000 years.
Well, shouldn't have bought all that candy, I guess.
What?
Cedric walks up.
How are you charged? Excuse me. I'm not familiar with your customs. What are they going on about it being a miracle? 200 silver for this little sheet?
One of the kids is like, our mothers, they live in the tower. They worship the mother. They work her loom, her spinning wheel, making gold and silver fabric. It's a miracle. Look, and she like holds it up in the sunlight, and the fabric kind of glistens.
Oh, yes, that does justify the price point, yes. Oh, I'm not buying one. Thank you.
They immediately just shift their attention. These kids are professional salespeople. This is like, you know, people selling stuff in the park in Chicago, like during a festival, selling light up swords.
Be careful of these kids and watch your bags. I wouldn't trust them in a second. They're like that Dieter kid that stole my sword. You know, sticky fingers.
That's what we should have called him, Sticky Fingers, not Poison Heart.
Yeah, but Sticky Fingers isn't half as good.
Sticky heart.
Sticky Heart,
Poison Fingers.
That's not even like a quarter good. Come on, we hit the nail on the head like immediately. No need to like go back and like retcon what we were calling the kid.
Well, let's call the little guy Sticky Fingers then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wait, you think Roscoe stole my sword? Little bastard, if I ever see him again.
Oh,
No.
you won't.
Oh, hold up. What are you gonna do to him if you see him again? I want to hear the end of this thought.
I'll on him and get my sword back.
Oh, I bet he's gonna learn to use that sword, and he's gonna use it to cut you up a good one.
Nah, he'd have to catch me first, and if the merchant police caught him and his brother, what are the odds that we can't catch them someday?
Wait, hold up. You just said if he has to catch you first. So is your plan to go find him and immediately run away and get him to chase you?
Yes, and then when I hide, I'll
My
get
God.
him.
Oh no. Incredible.
It's a little game they call cat and mouse already. I'm sure you've heard of it.
I mean, kinda. I don't do a lot of chasing my day. I think I'm mostly just like, it's just cat and cat, usually in my life.
Oh, cat fighter. I'm familiar.
Yeah, cat fights were actually really popular back where I was from. You know, they get like a ring and they put cats in them and make them fight. I mean, I personally ain't a big fan of it because it seems like animal cruelty, and I don't like that. But boy, howdy, a lot of people love that shit.
Which one was it that decapitated the horse among you?
Hey, that wasn't animal cruelty. Hey, God, that wasn't animal cruelty. That was
Already?
very-
Who's
that was- God, I think the desert heat's getting to me.
Okay, let's move on. So what are you guys gonna do? You're in the entrance of this little encampment. It's mostly just, you know, like shade cloths set up, stretched between the few palm trees that grow at the base of the barge here. And the barge, you know, kind of sits up on top of like a dune ridge above you. It's absolutely massive. I think like it looks like almost too top heavy, like it should tip over, you know. But it's long, probably, I don't know, 500-600 feet long.
I keep on imagining like one of the sand crawlers from Star Wars, except gold.
See, I have a good description here. It has an ovalish main deck, gleaming, polished, bordered by low metal rails that taper forward to the twin hyper-stylized dragon heads that flank the bow and the landing ramp in front of the bow. There's like a ramp that goes up to the top deck.
Just like a sand crawler.
A great golden dome rises to the height of 40 feet from the deck. The dull metallic hue of the dome shimmers and sparkles in the sunshine and produces a significant glare.
All right, we ready to move?
Hold on, there's one more descriptive piece, sorry. The dome is pierced by several points the dome is pierced at several points by onion-domed circular metal-shafted towers. The largest around 70 or 80 feet, but some of them shorter, some of them taller.
How do you get into this thing?
Probably walk to the door.
There's a big ramp up to the main deck made of
Just
gold.
gonna walk straight in front door? I mean, I guess they're expecting us, or
If I recall, the Reclaimer did say that they would be expecting us. And so, if we're confused about the entrance, I wager that we just look for the Silk Wardens.
That's fair. I'd believe it.
All right, well, I'm gonna keep going then.
All right. I'm going to point out, by the way, crows are still hanging in the palm trees watching and swarming a lot overhead.
Weird.
You know what? Hold up. No, you know what? I can do that later. We got to stay focused on this right now, not on some fucking birds.
All right, so you head towards the ramp. At the base of the ramp, there are 2 Silk Wardens.
Howdy. Fine day, isn't it?
They just look at you. They don't say anything. You know, just their eyes through the slits in their silver masks.
The Reclaimers sent us. We're the Bone Legion. We were told that we would be allowed entrance into the Golden Barge.
One of them just says, "We've heard no such thing. Haven't got a message from the Reclaimer since yesterday. Haven't got a message from anyone. Crows ain't coming in."
I look over at all the crows.
They're all sitting in the trees. He's like, "I know, they're flocking, but they ain't coming in. None of them will listen. None of them talk."
Well, fine. Give me a moment. I'm gonna head over to the crows.
All right, yeah, you go over to. There's like a cluster of 6 or so palm trees at the center of the little encampment. All the crows are up there.
Hey! Which one of you's got the message from the Reclaimer for the Silkworms here?
None of them say anything. They just and jump from branch to branch and swarm, fly away, fly back in.
I've got 2 silver pieces here for whoever coughs up the message. We know you're there.
A giant fat raven drops down onto a tent pole from the trees above. He's the only one. And he looks at you with his big yellow eye. And he says, "We will seek his vengeance. We will lay him to rest.
What?
Evil will follow. Darkness will follow."
Okay. So if you got the message, or are you just like the spokesperson?
Ah, you carry a thing that should not have been created. An abomination. Oh!
I mean, it sounds like you're just being a little bit dramatic there. And believe me, I know dramatic when I see it. So, can we just get the message delivered to the Silk Wardens? We can hash whatever this out next. What do you want? What do you want? What do I need to do to get you to talk to the Silk Wardens, huh?
We will destroy the staff, and vengeance shall be sought upon you in his name. And all the crows in the trees start going, "Malak! Malak! Malak! Ah!" And just going crazy.
Staff, no, it couldn't be.
I mean, all of you hear this, I'm sure.
People that work here? You want us to destroy the staff?
I'm gonna head back to the group.
We're here not to kill people.
What? No, okay. They're pissed about some kind of staff or something. And I can only see one staff, and I look very pointedly at Cedric's staff.
How do you say a
So-
staff or the staff? Because the staff could mean the people that work here.
Staff.
Well, they were saying the staff of Malik. You all heard that too, right?
You guys look at Cedric's staff. It has a massive, buzzard or vulture skull affixed to the top of it.
You remember when I said I'm glad that we didn't have any vultures following us?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the birds don't know. They're squawking about nothing.
I don't know about that, Cedric. They seem pretty obstinate.
Well,
Is there something you ain't telling us?
I just what you're seeing, they seem unhappy. They're bringing up a staff. I don't know what the problem is.
So the time's passing by. We got work to do, people. I mean, she's gonna turn to the guards, or you know what I mean? Do we have one of the 500 letters he wrote saying we could come in here? Or somebody tell this man. I mean, this is what he sent us here to. We're taking care of this. Can you please just call somebody?
One of them's like, "I suspect the king will send not the king, rather the reclaimer. I suspect the reclaimer would send a runner. Now that they've realized that the crows are not flying, not delivering."
This is a sensitive time and issue, sir. I do not mean to be disrespectful. It is a sense of urgency you're hearing in my voice, not frustration. We've got a job to do, and there's nothing I hate more than sitting around doing nothing when there's a job to be done.
One of them's like, our job is to make sure no one enters. We're doing our job.
Well, I'm not doing mine, so I guess that's a me problem, huh?
They don't answer.
How much is it gonna cost to be able to get entrance?
They just shake their head.
You know, we could use this opportunity. You know, if they're not going to let anyone in, we don't really have to worry about Avid and his group getting in. We could go to the Spire for a bit and then come back once the runner's made his way here.
Right. I think I have a... I think I may have a runner for them. Could you give me 10 minutes?
We got nothing but time, Cedric.
Okay. I'm gonna cast a spell as a ritual.
Okay.
Yeah, as he's doing that, I'm gonna turn back to the group and say, "So it's his staff, right? Everything's coming back to that staff for me. You know, big bird skull. Birds keep following like us specifically. It feels like.
Yeah, the birds, they're stupid.
I
you
mean,
ever tried-
these.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go. Nah. No. You go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, have you ever tried talking to one of these foul creatures? They just squawk, 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 doom and gloom all the time.
I mean, they are intelligent. Like they can form coherent thoughts and sentences, and they have a culture of some sort. I'm not well versed in bird culture, but I know they got one. They seem very focused on this. Malik. I feel like I've heard that name before. Can I roll an intelligence check to see if I've ever heard the name Malik before?
Sure.
Cool.
ND casting.
Oh, 7.
Nice. I'm gonna say all you know of Malik is an ancient story, kind of folktale about a buzzard or a vulture that was massive and had lots of magical artifacts and was immortal. A lot of kind of crows treat him as a hero. But he was tricked and killed by humans in a duplicitous manner, and his artifacts stolen.
Well, I mean, it's just like a folktale, so I don't exactly know how much weight to give it as far as truth goes, but some ancient, big, powerful buzzard got off by humans and had his artifacts, taken, pillaged.
Well, I don't know if these birds know what they're talking about. It seems like they think they know what they're talking about, but I'm not one to question somebody that I'm traveling with over some birds. I mean, I believe that they believe what they're saying, but I just don't think that I don't think it's worth giving something to birds or dealing with I just can't trust birds over somebody, my friend.
I mean, he's keeping it. Listen, all I'm saying is that they're clearly very well. It seems to me they're very interested in whatever staff he's carrying. And if something isn't done, we ain't getting that barge, and that's something that we can't afford right now, both for the lives of anyone hoping to delve its depths coming up on later in the day here, or for our reputation ongoing.
Well,
So something needs to be done.
I trust Cedric, and I agree with you, though. I do not mean to sound confrontational, because I certainly am not. I just want you to know, I think that Cedric's a smart man, and he's coming up with something good, and if this doesn't work, then we'll readdress the situation about not being able to get in.
I mean, it's an easy fix, though. They want this staff destroyed. They made
Have
it
you
very
seen
clear.
what it can do?
Yeah, I have. And right now, what we needed to do is be destroyed if we want to get into the Golden Barge.
Ooh, I wouldn't be asking a magic user to destroy anything that gave him extra magic for free.
And I wouldn't be asking for whatever that is if we had other alternatives, which right now doesn't look like it.
Well, except he's using his magic to do something for us right now. So let's just see how that plays out, and then
Yeah,
let's circle back around.
what spell are you casting, Cedric?
I'm casting Phantasmal Force.
Okay.
You know what's funny is I was thinking we actually had to wait 10 minutes. Like I'm sitting here like, man, I got to fill 10 minutes with this conversation.
So I can create a monster, essentially.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to create a little boy runner with a note saying that the Bone Legion needs access immediately by order of the Reclaimer.
All right, let's see here. You create an illusionary monster that can be directed to attack. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna make him attack.
Yes, is choosing 3 types of illusions may be created. Sorry, I'm just reading the spell real quick.
Yeah, I think the scene would be the one I was kind of thinking. You know, making a scene unfold in front of him more so than.
Sure, the main thing you got to remember here is you're going to have to maintain concentration until this thing gets there. And then gets back, which could be a whole day. If the caster moves or loses concentration, the spell ends.
It's. I mean, I'm not gonna have the runner actually. I'm sorry. Maybe I don't understand.
I mean, it's gonna take. You're trying to send this runner back to Ark, right?
No, it's all made up. It's a fake runner. He's gonna come running up with the note.
Ah, I see, and trick the guards.
Yeah,
I see. Let's see.
Sweet of you to think that Cedric's that honest.
I'm not sure about this. I feel like you're trying to use Phantasmal Force like it's what is it? Illusion?
Major illusion.
Yeah. Because it specifically says an illusory monster, and it says it can attack a scene, either changing the appearance. Okay, I guess that's what you're going for, right? Or changing the appearance of the affected area or creating the appearance of something new. The scene disappears if touched. Okay, yeah, so I guess you could do it with that. I don't know. Scene makes me think something stationary.
Well, even with the example he gives is like the ceiling collapsing. So even in that case, there would be movement.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let you do it. I'll let you try it. I think you're getting outside its purview.
Thank you. So this kid's gonna run up and just say, orders from the Reclaimer. Orders from the Reclaimer. He's supposed to let this lot in right away. It's the Bone Legion. Ravens ain't running, you know it.
They'll be like, you have some sort of official seal.
They lost it. Ravens aren't running. We're at our wits' end. They're not even making us parchments now. They're just sending us in every direction. Ravens aren't running. Did you hear?
The guard's like, how am I supposed to know? He's like, you aren't wearing Silk Warden. Is he wearing Silk Warden uniform, I guess?
I think he'd be wearing, like, maybe not a Silk Warden uniform. He'd be wearing something official. Like he's, I made him up, so.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I mean, the Silk Wardens, they induct them real early, and it's like a lifelong thing. That might be, I think, what it would be. Like that's what their messengers and like younger servants all are.
Would I have seen any of those?
Yeah, probably. I think if you were in the boat.
Yeah, well, if I had seen that's who did the messaging, then that's who I would make it appear like.
Okay. Yeah, I think they look a little confused. I feel like I still want to make you make like a charisma check because this is such like a stretch of what the spell is supposed to be able to do. I guess they'll be like, no seal, I'm not sure. And then the other one will like kind of look over and he'll just be like, they're not antiquarians. I don't think that they're the ones we're supposed to be waiting for. And they kind of debate over it for a while. I think, let's see a charisma check from Cedric.
No good.
Yeah, so you keep the spell, but I just don't think it's convincing enough without, like... I mean, you could make them produce a seal. I just don't know how accurate you'd be able to make it look. You know what I mean?
Well, and also, I think it would. The reason I didn't just give him a seal is because if he touched it,
it would disappear. Yeah, that's true. That's why I think this is a really hard thing to pull off.
All right. Well, at the risk of getting caught, I think the little boy would be like, "Take it and leave it. I got other deliveries," and then runs off
Okay.
into the desert.
Goodbye.
I think they'll talk to each other for a little while about it, like, you know, like huddle and whisper. And one of them would be like, "But the fucking crows!" And he's like pointing at the crows. And he's like, "Of course they're busy. You know, none of the crows are going nowhere." And then after arguing for a little bit, they let you in. But as they're kind of deciding to let you in, I think you do notice a large, ornate kind of carriage, a covered wagon carriage, rumbling down the road, the desert road towards you. You would guess it might be the antiquarians. It is getting later in the day. But before they like even make it to the little kind of village beside the barge, these guards are like, "All right, Rona said you can go in. Only because it's the Reclaimer's orders," and they like stand aside and let you go up the ramp.
Nice.
Let's move along.
Much obliged.
Alright, so you head up the ramp to the top deck. The floor of the top deck is like just blinding once you get up there. It's like reflective, almost polished. And the sun is just, you know, beating off of it up into your eyes. And, you know, this giant golden dome kind of comes out of the deck. And kind of closest to where you climb up onto the deck, a massive tower, like an exterior tower, comes up out of the dome. And it has a big, like, massive door with, like, you know, valves and a big wheel in the middle.
I would like to think that Cora has makeup, just because she's kind of a fancy lady. If she does have any like charcoal, like liner, you know what I mean, just like a black something, you know, whether it be something she does her eyes with or something, she would like to take it and put it underneath, like football player, underneath her eyes to try and like keep the reflection down a little bit,
Okay, yeah.
if that's allowed.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but you're going to be going inside momentarily, so
No, it's just, you know, because it looks cool. She's like,
I think it's a good look.
yeah.
thank you. Just imagine her with those under her eyes for the rest of this.
All right, so yeah, you guys stand on the top deck. It's massive, like it's a big open deck with a railing running around it.
Now it's been a long time since anybody's been in here. Is that right? Has anybody been where we are? When do we get to the part where nobody's been? Because I can find traps if y'all think something's going to be trapped.
I
Through
think
that
if
door.
they... I'm sorry, go right ahead.
I was just saying through that door is probably where no one's been.
Yeah. From what we from what we know, ain't no one's been inside, period, and this thing's been here for, well, mother knows how long.
Aw. Well, somebody lead the way, and if they want me to look and see if something looks suspicious, just let me know.
Yeah, Reddy will take the lead. Why not?
All right, you cross the deck already over to this massive, like, metal pipe-like tower coming out of the dome. The valve door, and you grab the wheel on the front of the door and Hulk spin it, and then the valves unlock at the top and bottom, and the big thick steel door like swings open on its old rusty hinges. Put you guys on a little dungeon map here.
All right, after you.
Me?
Well, I mean, as much as I would like to take lead, I think it's going to be more effective for the trap finder too.
Okay.
My eyes ain't good.
I've just done that thing a few times when we have all played together where I have assumed someone was talking to me and they weren't.
Yeah, I was talking to like the group. Well, you kinda, cause you know, you offered to be trap finder, and
Well, I can. So I actually have this spell that's find traps. That's prepared.
oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah. So I have within 30 feet within range of the caster a glow with a traps within 30 feet glow with a magical blue light. Magical and mechanical traps are both detected. No knowledge about the nature of the trap or how to deactivate it is granted. But I know it's there.
Okay, I see what you mean then. So you're not relying on your eyes, you're relying on magic. Okay, all right. All right, I'll take the lead
I'll
there.
walk in first, I guess. Zuzu's just gonna walk in.
Well, hang on a minute here. She's gonna like try to like grab him as he's walking by. I don't know if I can, but no, 30 feet. I can tell if there's something that's gonna be trapped. You just gonna walk right in? I don't. That doesn't seem like the Zuzu I know.
How many times are you gonna be able to cast this spell?
Well, it depends, I guess.
Is it
Oh.
continuous? Or does it last rounds?
Can I just put it in the
Yeah.
chat?
Mhm.
Okay, hang on. Did it do?
No.
I'm sorry, guys. I did it.
Is there anything in the macro slot? If there's not, you got to put like a 1 or something.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm so sorry. Okay. I just put a 1. I didn't roll a 1.
Oh, 2 turns.
Oh, I'm in like a minute or something.
I mean, if you think it's too soon, I'll hold on to it.
I mean, it's up to y'all.
Maybe we should take a look into this, past this door, and see what we're looking at before we start getting too apprehensive.
Yeah, by the way, that does probably mean dungeon turns, so that probably means more like 20 minutes, I would guess. But that's like...
Sweet.
So, for those of you who've not played OSR as much, usually a dungeon room, or like every action you take in a dungeon that's not combat, takes about 10 minutes. If you want to search a room, or search a specific thing in a room, check for a trap, try and bust a door open, you know, all of that. We usually assume that's like your turn. That takes 10 minutes. Then I take a turn. I roll some shit that you don't see, like if your torch goes out or if a monster shows up, and then it's your turn again. Like moving from room to room usually takes it's like a 10-minute kind of interval.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Well, then she'll just step aside and say, "Have at it, Zuzu," and well, just let me know when you're ready for me to do my thing.
Out of curiosity, Zuzu, how are your eyes?
Got 2 of them.
Okay, because mine are a little bit older, and as helpful as this magic stuff is, I also want to make sure we have you know, keeping an eye out for anything that we might see other than that. Because that thing, that magic spell ain't gonna last us our whole trip, I don't think.
I don't think so either, and I've done this before, so. Usually there isn't a booby trap right on the front door.
All right then, lead on.
So I walk in.
All right, yeah, you step into a big darkened, you know, tower. It's pretty bare except for a staircase, like a metal staircase that's open, winding up to like a trapdoor style kind of hatch on the north wall.
See, trapdoor right there.
There's also a door in the wall to the south of you across from where you came in. That's exactly like the one you entered before to get in here. And then I think also, Zuzu, you probably notice as you step in, there's like a giant black scorch mark on the floor beneath your feet.
Well, are we gonna set up a trap here, or are we gonna explore more? Or are we gonna try and shut this door behind us and seal it? What are we doing?
Yeah, I think you all step cautiously into the tower behind him. You see the same. A door across from you, and then a trapdoor directly above you that the staircase goes up to.
Let's not seal ourselves in just yet.
Try to find an exit first or something.
Yeah, I ain't interested in making this place my coffin too soon.
I'm gonna cast a spell real quick. Goodbye. Goodbye, shield. That's okay though. Cast shield on myself, and again it's made out of the roots. And this time, like he's getting better at it because he's used the staff to kind of control it. And it's just kind of like Cedric covered in wood. He's kind of like retained his features, like his beard is all wood and roots, and he's really he's getting good at making it complicated.
Ornate.
I'm gonna spark up a torch.
Okay.
I'll offer it to Zuzu if you'll take it.
Okay, I'll grab it. We're going, boss.
The other choice right now, I don't think that we can choose incorrectly based off of the information we got.
Zuzu, you done this before, right? So where do we go?
It does seem like you've got expertise in this matter.
In this situation, I've abandoned thinking about exploring the Ark. At this point, I'm just trying to make sure my head stays on my shoulders. And that means making sure nobody else gets in here or ambushing the people following us, which we have decided would be not the best choice. So those are the two things I'm thinking about. If you're thinking about other things, once again, just tell me what to do.
Well, unfortunately, we no longer have a good concept of how long we'll have in here. I'm going to give us a few hours at best, because I don't know how ready those antiquarians are going to get their way past Silk Wardens.
Oh, I think the Silk Wardens are meant to let them in.
Weren't he saying that the Silk Wardens were saying that they were here specifically to stop the antiquarians, though?
Nope.
No?
They said just stop anyone from coming in, and technically from getting in until the antiquarians arrive.
I misheard then.
They didn't say that second part, but they did say they're just, all they said was to keep people from getting in. And then later they said these aren't the antiquarians we're waiting for.
Yeah, that's what I picked up from the conversation.
When they were debating whether to let you in or not. One of them was like, these aren't the antiquarians, we're not supposed to let them in.
Yeah.
Well, that means that we've got at best an hour then. Even less than I was thinking.
I mean, you saw the antiquarian cart rolling into town as you walked into the Ark.
Yeah, they're literally like right behind us.
I don't think that, my best guess is that they ain't gonna immediately go from their travels right into the place. Chances are they're gonna have a little bit of respite before heading in, which is why, at best, an hour. We should not tarry too long in here.
I may have an idea, but if I were to do this, it would take all my concentration, but it would keep them from coming up behind us. If it's something you'd like me to do.
What is it?
Well, I'd cast an illusion to make it look like there was a rock fall in front of the door. Of course, if they touched it, it would disappear.
You make it something that they might not want to touch instead of rocks. Lava. I don't know. Snakes.
Well, yes, I guess.
Hot dog water.
Hot dog water.
Yes, I
Oh.
guess I could make it a flame. Just a flame bursting from the door.
Yeah, so I will say this room is fairly bare, but the one thing you do notice is like some metal pipe work. This is like industrial and probably more advanced than most like structures you guys have ever seen. There is like pipes and stuff. You could make it look like a busted pipe spewing flame above the door or something similar.
My only concern about fire is that if anyone starts getting close, they're gonna feel that there ain't no heat.
How about lightning?
Lightning is a better option, I feel like.
So lightning spewing from the pipe is what we're going with. I mean, that works for me. But again, it's all I can do would be concentrating on making this look realistic. And I
Maybe
need
you should
10
hold on
minutes.
to that.
And I can
Look,
cast as a ritual.
we've got
13 minutes.
3 options here. It's not. I think we're overthinking this. Either we can try the door in front of us, we can go up the stairs and try to get to the trap door there, or we could just close the door behind us and hold it shut so when they start trying to come through it, there's 5 people holding it closed and oh no, the ark sealed itself again. Darn, I guess it's time for us to go home.
Maybe we could grab some of these pipes on the walls and try to block the door with that. And we could get that out from inside, but they couldn't get in. Jam it up good and then make it so the wheel can't turn like the club. And then we could explore and might hold them off a little longer.
I think that Cora's got the best idea out of this one. If we're looking to ensure they can't get in here, we're gonna have to sabotage whatever that locking mechanism is. Either that or we just engage it again. Now, I don't personally know how they managed to get this thing open in the first place, so that could just be a minor inconvenience.
I say we lock it in a way that we know how to unlock it.
Is there any plant life around the door or the entrance?
Like inside here?
Just
No.
at the door, like right outside the door.
Yeah, there's probably some like small ferns and scrubby plants, desert plants.
Cactus?
Sure.
Yeah, cactus.
Yeah, sure. There's a little cacti.
So Cedric would be like, he would told the staff, he's like, I have an idea, and he would just start doing it and start cactus and super making it thicken up with the staff and just thicken and cactus all lace through it behind us as thick as he could do it.
So you're gonna use the staff to move the cactus inside, or in front of the door?
Yeah, I think I would start gathering everything, everything within range. I'd start gathering towards the staff to like seal the door.
Okay. I don't think you can get much, but you can get a pretty big clump of tall cactuses together in front of the door. They literally, I mean, this is gonna be, well, I don't know. See, this would only work if you did it down the ramp. I didn't think about that. Sorry. So, if looking at the map, did I put you guys on this map? Yeah. You would be here, casting on plants here, and
So I have a pretty narrow.
and there's guard here and here. I mean, I guess you could still do it.
It just, I don't know if it's not. I don't know if it's worth it. It's gonna be like,
You're gonna piss them off for sure.
yeah. I think if there's not a serious amount of plants, that's gonna stop them.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah, it's a pretty big open like ramp. I didn't think about that. I don't think there is enough plant life, so you can say you never, retcon casting the spell if you want.
Dante
But
starts to slowly climb the staircase.
we want to bust down some of these pipes and at least try to block the door, seal it. We can do that.
The door is pretty. Like mentally, I'm thinking it's big. Is it like that submarine size?
Yep.
Okay, so it is like man-sized. Okay.
But if there's a wheel in the middle that turns, couldn't we stick a club, like the club,
Yeah, exactly. You could probably jam it.
just like
with the wheel.
exit.
I will say it's probably a little taller than the store. It seems taller than human sized by like a foot or two. But that might just be the design of the ship.
I mean, I feel
Nothing
like
else, we can do that.
yeah, I feel like it's better than nothing. At least it'll hold him off for a minute because we don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I mean that seems like it'll hold them off for more than a minute, right? I don't know much about antiquarians, but they don't sound like particularly muscly folk to me.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna grab a pipe off the wall.
All right. So around this time, Dante gets to the top of the stairs, and Dante, you get to like the open metal staircase comes up through the floor. It's like a second level, and it's kind of the domed bulb-shaped tower above you. And on the outside, the towers look like shiny, bronzy gold, but from the inside, you can like see through it. Like it's frosted a little bit, but you can see out of it, like out through the onion dome. And sitting in the middle is a massive, like mounted metal cross-armed weapon, almost like a huge crossbow with no string. And there's like a loading chamber, and it sits on like a pivoting mount, and steel hoses like run up from the floor into it. And there's like a hole in the onion dome where like it's pointing right now, like a perfectly shaped like hole. There's also steel racks on the wall full of like, these kind of empty, broken looking glass orbs. But there's one single like glass ball filled with like some sort of sloshing white looking liquid. Still on.
I'm assuming that this crossbow is large and like mounted, so it's not like able to be removed.
No, it's huge, yeah, and it's like made of metal as well. It's like the size of you. It's like more of a ballista.
Yeah.
But
The
they're
balls that are these also large, like large glass cannonballs, maybe?
Yeah, like a handful size. Like you see like an open kind of ammo chamber where you'd like drop a ball into this thing. It looks almost like it's meant to fling things, right? It's like some mix between a little catapult and a crossbow, but kind of very advanced looking. And this definitely seems like the ammunition, like it would fit perfectly into the chamber. Yeah, and it's got like fluid sloshing around inside of it.
So, kind of looking at all this,
You like I think
Dante.
I think you glance down, sorry, and you also notice like through the grated floor, you can see the scorch mark under everyone, and it kind of maybe starts to make sense to you. There's like, if anything fell off this rack, it could easily bounce down to the story below.
Can I see the antiquarians down below us through this slot?
Yeah, they have their cart pulled up. They're all like really well dressed, and they're chatting with the guards around their cart, and they're like drinking and smoking pipes. They all have like kind of ridiculous safari-esque clothing on, But I think you also see that a large like kind of procession of people are marching in as well at like the other end, coming from Ark, probably Avon and those folk.
So Dante would pick up this glass ball and stare at it for a second, drop it into the slot, and like load this thing, and start to try to reposition it the best that he could, not to aim directly at the cart, but like probably past it so he doesn't actually hit it, but can try to scare everybody.
Okay.
And he kind of takes a beat and looks down the stairs and kind of shouts down to him, I've got a bad idea, but it might help buy us some time.
You guys can see up through like the metal slatted floor. You can just barely see him up there. And you can see the weapon thing he's standing next to, but you can't see it clearly or tell what it is at all.
Gotta admit, there ain't an encouraging way to start an idea, a pitch.
You know, if things go bad, you know.
What
Chaos.
are you thinking, Dante?
Well, there's a really big weapon up here. It's like a crossbow, but giant. And I'm
Like a
thinking I
ballista?
could. Yes, exactly. And I'm thinking if I fire it, we could probably scare the antiquarians off to think that the Ark is maybe weaponized.
I think
Maybe.
they're just gonna think that we did it, because we did get in here without an issue.
I mean, I could shoot their cart.
Also, you could shoot them. They're standing right there.
I don't think shooting their cart's gonna stop them from getting in here. Is it just their cart? What's with all the people? Did they have their own carts?
Well, so the antiquarians appear to be in one cart, and they're about to make their way up the ramp here, but they're talking to some people, but I don't think it's right to kill them. Like,
It's just the two guards you talked to before.
Now, what are the
no,
chances?
I know. I meant the antiquarians.
Oh yeah.
What are the chances of these people who are coming up here to go through everything? You know, these normal folk who are coming up after the antiquarians. What are the chances we could get them on our side? I mean, if we could just obscure and mist or something with these antiquarians when they come in, and then launch a trap on them and just trap them, you know, maybe we could convince everybody else, you know, that we're the good guys, and, you know, they can do whatever they want to this barge. I don't care.
That is incredibly dangerous work to be working with. I don't think we should be letting anyone in, period, that ain't us. I'm more on board with, is that door secured?
I'm working on it. I guess she's still doing it. I guess.
Make a strength check real quick, Cora, to see if you're able
Oh,
to.
so strong.
Yeah, if she's taking her time, I'm also gonna try to, like, see if I can't add more of these metal bars to just make it even more secure as well.
Okay, roll at advantage, Cora.
Oh, I didn't. Hang on. Should I just roll it again?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Aredy's helping you. All right, yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so good at it.
So you and Aredy together are able to bust some of the old pipes off and mangle them through the wheel in a way that even you think you can't get the door open without some,
We invented
some
a new
work.
type of lock.
Yeah. It's called a granny knot.
Oh my god, I love you. And she just claps her hands together, wipes that sweat off her brow, and looks at him. She's like, "Well, I think that'll do it." Just like knowing very well that it's badass.
I just imagine Cora like clapping dust off her hands after everything she does. You know what I mean? Like satisfied.
100%.
Okay, great. Yeah, so the door's fixed.
Alright, well, I feel a little bit more confident now.
Avon and company are getting close. Your window to fire this without hitting them is closing. You maybe have a minute left. Avon is leading about 15 people in kind of ill-fitted armor and spears up towards the barge. Or like down through the little encampment towards the ramp where the guards are talking to the antiquarians.
Yeah, fuck it. If you want to blow up their carriage, the antiquarian's carriage, go right ahead. If it ain't gonna hurt anyone. I don't want blood on my hands.
Dante unloads the ammo and just kind of puts it in his pocket and starts heading back down the stairs.
Because we don't have a reason to kill these people other than that just like they're rich assholes, right? Like they're not
Well-
evil.
We were also instructed to, but
Well, fuck that guy though.
Yeah, no, we ain't killing anybody. We signed up to kill people. I ain't killing anybody.
I just want to make sure I didn't forget, like, actually the antiquarians, like, kill babies as a ritual, you know?
No, not that you know of. They mainly just, loot magical items in the name of archaeology and in the name of the prince and their own interests.
They're garbage, but they
sure-
don't
I'm
necessarily
sure-
deserve a death sentence.
Like, I'm sure Zuzu doesn't like him very much at all.
No, oh yeah. I mean, most raiders don't like them because desert raiders are considered illegitimate, but these guys are basically have a pass from the prince to plunder, and
To like strong arm other people out of the way and like take over dig sites and
absolutely.
yada yada yada. So Zuzu hates these dudes. Really, he doesn't give a shit about them. That's why he was totally fine with like signing up to kill these guys in specific. Like, it's these dudes he doesn't care.
Nice.
All right.
Well, we found one weapon. Maybe if we keep looking around, we could find something else that we could find useful. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, Dante comes back down the staircase. You realize he did not fire the weapon.
Yeah, I held off, but I brought this piece of ammo with me in case we find any more. Or, I don't know, it might come in handy somehow.
I mean, certainly.
I see you've got the door barricaded. Should we try this other one now?
We can come back to this one later. Yeah.
All right, so you want to try and go through the next hatch?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll look at Zuzu, our resident dungeon delver.
All right, yeah. The wheel on this door opens even more easily than the exterior one. And the door swings open, revealing a long, dark room beyond. Let me reveal just the basic shape here for you. Oops, second. There we go. So this looks like some sort of large foyer. It's got a big kind of ornate, like vaulted, domed ceiling. It's got these like kind of deep, fancy-looking scarlet rugs with geometric designs, just like covering the whole floor. And then a few like long tables pushed up against one wall. There's a door to your left, to your right, and across from you. They're not quite like the big ones on the outside, the two that you've just come through, but they're similar. Like they're these steel industrial design with like big handles, iron handles on them. Yeah, it's this big, long, black foyer.
There's 3
I'll
doors in
kind
this
of like
room?
wave the torch in front of me, like sniff the air a little bit, and guess yeah, get in.
All right, yeah, you sniff the air. It smells a little bit like cooking meat in here.
Ooh.
That's not good.
So we all step into the room.
Yep.
All right, yeah, it looks empty from what you can tell, but there's definitely like a strong cooking smell in the air coming from a nearby room.
Hmm. 3 doors this time. Which way are we going, gang?
Let's follow our nose.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of therefore get closer to one of the doors and start sniffing. I'll go to the left or the farthest away.
Okay. That smells like that's where it's coming from. And then you hear like a voice muffled through the metal door talking. You can't understand what it's saying though.
So I'm gonna turn around and kind of gesture for Already to grab the torch from me.
Sure thing.
Then kind of like whisper to the other people like, "Are we ready?"
I'll pull out Jolene.
And I got my big warhammer out, so I'm gonna pop that door open.
Hold up. I hand this to fucking. Who else has a spare hand? Because I only have one.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay,
Oh, you only
thanks.
have one hand.
All right.
All right,
Just
ready. I
inspired
wasn't
Dante.
thinking.
So
No,
you
it's fine.
swing the door open. Inside, you see a long, polished mahogany table set with silver platters, 3 of them. They're piled high with some sort of kind of pork-like meat. And 2 strange humanoids sit at the table in like kind of ancient metallic-looking armor. They look like taller than humans, kind of longer-headed with ghostly kind of white skin. They almost look like dead things brought back to life. And the 2 at the table like say something in a really strange language, barking and like look at you. And a third one comes in from the door, the other door in this room, on the south wall.
The cook.
And he does have he pops in with an apron on. And like the 2 at the table jump up and start grabbing at their like very ornate looking staffs that lay on the table.
I'm gonna
Anyone
like
else support,
raise
like,
my
me?
hand first. I'm not gonna like charge in. Just gonna be like, no. Gesture to them like wait. Like,
Yeah, I mean they keep barking something at you and pointing like with their stabs at the floor, and, like tapping the floor with their stabs. It looks like they're motioning for you to put your weapons down.
yeah, I'll sling it over my back. I'm not gonna just drop it on the ground. I'll kind of like start putting it over my back.
Dante hasn't drawn his, so he's just sitting there with his hands up.
They keep doing the same thing, even, you know. They obviously want you to put your weapons on like the ground. Like one of them will even like kind of try and tap one of your weapons with their into their staff.
Okay, I guess I'll lay my weapon down.
Yeah, I would lay my weapon down.
All right, I'll follow suit.
Yeah, Dante
Jesus Christ.
throws his dagger onto the ground and throws his bow down, but just keeps his satchel of arrows.
Well, we are in their kitchen. We've burst in.
So they all now with their very like kind of, you know, strange, almost technological looking staves kind of gather around the 3 of you and start trying, or gather around the 5 of you rather. The 3 of them gather around you, and one by one they start trying to like tie your wrists up on your back with lengths of like leather that they are pulling from, you know, one of their satchels.
Yeah, I don't think this is the way we should have been going, gang.
All right. Well, we're not gonna let them tie us up for sure. Like, if seems like aggressive, like they're trying to like take us prisoner. Do they seem undead?
They almost look like they are, but I don't know, their eyes seem alive. They don't smell like they're dead.
They'll
Because
seem
I can
awfully
banish
active.
undead, but if they're not undead, it won't do us any good. I could try.
I would try it.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll-
So
we'll
I just
find out.
Clerics may attempt to banish nearby undead monsters as an action. They must test their wisdom, adding the creature's highest HD to the roll for each group of undead they are attempting to banish. Undead monsters that are banished take damage equal to the cleric's level, must spend their future movement running, so that they are distant.
Yeah, you call upon the mother. What's it look like when you turn undead?
It's this saint, like she did it before, and she has her 3 lines on her forehead and from her prayer this morning, and she just like says something really quietly under her breath, that it's almost just like she says it to herself, and then she looks up and her eyes just flicker a tiny bit. You see just like a tiny yellow, it's like all the gold around is like bringing out this gold in her eyes a little bit more, and she just, I mean, it's just this little small flicker in her eyes that you may have been there before, but you may not have noticed it because it's just so much yellow in this room that you can see it better now, or maybe it's getting stronger, and they hopefully run away. But I test my wisdom, or
Is that what it says?
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so it says my wisdom plus their highest HD I'll just do the wisdom.
Okay. Their highest AC
Do I do a
is
modifier?
4, yeah.
Oh, I didn't do. I did that.
Yeah, it has no effect on any of them.
Well.
And
I
they will, at this point, get to, I'm just going to pick 3 randomly. Dante, Cedric, Zuzu. And start grabbing your wrists, pulling behind your back to tie them up.
As they're tying Dante's, he lets it happen, but he starts saying out loud, We come in peace. We're not here to disrupt anything. We're actually here to prevent others from getting in here. We're very sorry. We did not know you were in here. We were sent to explore. Please, please, please don't kill us.
They keep saying something to you in their strange language, but like one word keeps coming up over and over. This word, Seneschal. And they keep pointing at the southern door. Seneschal.
Well, unless anyone wants to do anything drastic, I think we have walked right into their arms.
Yeah, they're gonna start leading you out of the room once they tie all of you up.
Heck, good fucking luck.
Yeah, I don't think Cora's gonna let herself get tied up.
I mean, they come to you now. They're behind you. 3 of your party members are already tied up now, and they're being tended by one of the ghouls, not ghouls. These strange creatures. They are not ghouls, by the way. I don't know why I said that because we've been fighting ghouls in the other game.
It's because they're ghouls.
No, you guys know what ghouls are. These aren't them. So yeah, they've tied up 3 of your party members. One of them is like holding those 3 by their, wrists tied behind their back, and now 2 are coming for Cora and for Areti.
Cora's gonna look at Areti and be like, Are we letting this happen?
Technically speaking, I never said I put down my axe. I mean, at this point, we may not have an option anymore. Unless we want to put up a fight, it's going to be extremely, not in our favor.
Well, I don't know how they're gonna tie your hands behind your back, but I guess,
I mean that's what I'm thinking. They can't do it.
I don't want to leave my weapon. Like, okay, I mean, if we're letting them tie us up.
God damn it. I don't think this is a good decision, but at this point, they've already got 3 of us. I think we just have to take this one for a ride and see where it goes.
All right, well, here goes nothing.
I put down my axe.
All right, yeah, they tie up your wrists, and they start leading you deeper into the ship.
This is one way to get a tour.
They also make no move to take your weapons with you. They just leave them here on the floor.
That's
I
good.
mean, on the bright side, if anything else does get in here, they'll get captured too.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say they'll have weapons.
So they lead you into this very long, high ceiling, arch ceiling, golden hallway with multiple doors down the length of it. And they will lead you way down to the far end. They swing open a large, locked, interior door and lead you into this like long, low room that's incredibly dark inside. I'm assuming you guys drop your torch as well. They didn't bring a torch or anything like that. They just walk into this dark room. But you can get like a little reflective light bouncing around. There's like some portholes somewhere in the hallway, like high up, that kind of bounce a little tiny light down into this dark room that you walk into. But you get like a weird, almost like fleshy meat smell, like freshly butchered beef or something as you walk into the room. And I think you kind of realize as your eyes adjust that it's just lined with rows of like organic sack-like structures with kind of veiny flesh material that they like, hang from the ceiling by, and like kind of metal hoses coming up out of the floor and into the sacks. There must be like 30 or 40 of them. And they just like walk you past the row of these weird, like, gigantic humanoid looking meat sacks that hang from the ceiling.
I wager we've stumbled ourselves onto an actual ark.
Cora's gonna like. If I could whisper to Dante if I'm by him, she's gonna be like, "You still got that ammo in your pocket?"
Oh yeah, I've still got it.
And she just gives him like a nod, like, "Okay, like we might need that."
Oh yeah, we might.
So they keep leading you further in. Another long, strange golden hallway filled with more geometric rugs. And they kind of, get you winding through this ship so that it's kind of hard to even remember, where you've gone. You pass so many doors as they walk you through. Can you guys see all the stuff I'm revealing? The little token I'm moving around?
Yeah.
Yep.
I would be so scared if this was happening. This whole thing is terrifying me.
It seems very scary to you. You're like
so scared.
deep in this ship now. You're not quite sure where you are. It's like very dark. Everything echoes and like dings off of the metal walls, It's almost sounds like you're deep under the ocean, like the way things echo in here. Oops. All right. So they lead you through a bunch of series of halls and doors until you're very, very deep in the ship. And they lead you into one last gigantic room. Sorry, let me reveal more. As you walk into this room, you can see that it's like exceptionally lavish. It looks like a beautiful lounge in like the most expensive, opium den or Lotus Den in, Belsur or Solaria. It looks just absolutely gorgeous. There's like long stuffed plush couches running along the walls. There's expensive throw rugs. They must be worth a lot of money. And let's see. Also a few kind of very interesting abstract paintings, like almost like Jackson Pollock style, like drip art. They bark at you for a moment. One of them locks the door that you came through with a big key. They kind of bark at you for a moment and open the massive hatch and disappear into the next room, just like leaving you guys in this lounge.
Out of curiosity, how did they secure my one arm?
They just tied it to, I don't know, your leg or something.
Down at your side.
Cool. Can I try to break that?
Yeah, sure. It's like they only use kind of like leather rope like straps.
May I use my missing limb trait to give myself advantage?
Sure. I guess your one arm would be way stronger.
It would really have to be, but yeah. All right, cool.
I'm gonna look at Already struggling and just be like, "Stay calm."
Believe me, I am calm, and I just break free.
All right.
Yeah, believe me, I am calm, and I'm gonna start undoing their straps. Now, listen, you can keep yourselves, subtle, like pretend like you're all captured, but it's better to have our arms free than to have them, not.
Well, thank you already.
Now, I don't know what the fuck's going on here, but I wager that, those things ain't undead, right, Cora? I saw you do your faith holy thing.
I don't know. I tried to do it, but I didn't feel... I just haven't been feeling right for a while now, so maybe they're undead and it didn't work, or maybe they're not, and it did. I don't know. She looks a little bit scared. Like, she looks scared as well, for sure.
Well, I don't think they're undead, because I don't think undead need to grow and eat their own meat. There's one thing's for sure, if we're going to get out of this, we do it together, and we do it by staying prepared, and hopefully by this point I've just kind of undone other things. If things break bad for us, we fight back to the nail, we go back and get our shit. But until then, hopefully we'll find an answer to whatever is going on here. Are we all ready? Is there like, I don't know, anything small? Do I have anything in my bag? Yeah, sure. I'm actually gonna take out one of those iron spikes and I'm just gonna try to like conceal it like under my sleeve or something.
Dang it, why am I a barbarian? I only have a loincloth. Alright, yeah. You put up your sleeve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you've all got something improvisational to get, I've got some darts, I've got some iron spikes, we can make do with what we have. But we don't go down without a fight, you hear me?
Doesn't seem like they're trying to kill us right now.
Not yet.
We're in a room with nice art and lounge seating.
This is
Not
quite
in
nice.
a cell.
I gotta tell you, I thought about what was going to happen when we got in here a lot when we were on our way walking through that desert. And I never imagined this is what it was going to be. We was going to let them tie us up and lead us into some cushy jail cell.
I don't think this is a jail cell. I think this
It is
a
for us.
meeting room.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting.
So Dante is like set down on one of these couches and like checking the softness of it and bouncing a bit on it, and then just kind of kicks back and he's like,
Well,
Play
where
us
I'm
a
from,
tune,
it's a jail
Dante.
cell. Sorry, go ahead.
Play us a tune, Dante.
I was just going to say, you don't tie up your guests. If you're guests, you
Did
usually
I
don't tie
miss-
their
It's
hands
not
around.
guests, we're intruders.
did it ready
We were
untie
lucky.
all of us?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
all untied. I don't
But
think
I'm
you should
still
be
acting
playing
like I'm
music.
tied.
I mean, you untied us. It's not like they're not gonna know.
I mean, your arms were behind your back, and they wouldn't notice immediately.
And you were wrapped up with leather.
Yeah, I mean, like, if anyone was gonna get spotted for having broken out of their restraints, it's gonna be me first. But the rest of
Maybe.
you might at least have a moment of advantage against him. Point is, we're being prepared for if the worst breaks bad.
So as you say that, the door slides open. And
Music, Dante, music.
like 5 of these strange creatures, I'm just going to tell you what they're called so I can refer to them as it. They're the Eld, E-L-D. These strange immortal creatures come out, but now there's 5 of them, all with their strange technological spears and weird, like, banded metal armor. And they start barking orders at you in their language, all standing around the door in the southern wall here. They're, like, kind of telling you to walk through that door.
I think we might be weirdly guests here now. Dante
Yeah, I'm
like
gonna-
gets up and starts making his way towards the door.
Yeah, let's be directed.
Keeps his hands behind his back though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they don't seem to mind that your hands are untied even. They just let you through.
I'm just waving at him.
Hello. Thank you.
So they lead you into the base of another much more massive tower than the one before. And it's not like the other one before where it was just like an empty silo with stairs around the wall. This one has like a giant metal core full of gears and pistons and like strange hoses and tubes and kind of rusted metal fencing. And it's got stairs wrapping around that core up to an upper floor that you can't see. None of the creatures enter with you. They just let you go in and they close the door behind you.
Yeah, I guess I'll start walking up the stairs.
As you like put your foot on the first stair, you hear like a loud kind of echoing like "Hoo, hoo, hoo," up at the top of the stairs, like a deep hooting, almost an animal noise.
That makes me nervous.
From a bunch of like the dark pipes in the ceiling, a gigantic like 12-foot tall, 4-armed creature drops like from the upper ceiling up amongst the pipes where you couldn't even see it, and like it lands hard on the floor and stands up. You can see it's like a 4-armed white ape with like massive, kind of fangs. It looks like almost kind of grotesque and twisted. And it just like lands on the floor amongst a bunch of barrels and strange boxes and just watches all of you. It doesn't make any move to actually like get you, but I think it makes you jump really hard. And it just watches you on the stairs from like across the tower floor.
So I'm gonna kind of like tuck my head at it and like, keep walking up the stairs.
All right, yeah. It doesn't seem to make any move to stop you. It's just like very threatening.
Oh yeah, it's not messing with me. I'm just gonna keep going.
Zuzu, do you know what that thing is? I've never seen something like that.
I've never seen these things. I've never seen this. I've never heard of any of these things.
I'm gonna call it Donkey Kong.
That is
Wow.
terrifying.
I hate it.
It looks nothing like a donkey.
Yeah. I don't know. It just feels appropriate.
All right, you watch the thing across the dark tower as you ascend the stairs. There's only just like a little beam of some sort of blue light coming from the hatch at the top of the stairs. And you kind of come up through the hatch into like a big lit up, dome-like room. It's got like black glass kind of lining the walls and control panel-like configurations with like lights glowing beneath. And standing like in the middle of the room is this 8-foot high, almost throne-like structure with pipes and control panels all around it. And sitting in it is this like tall, lithe-looking man. He looks just like the others that you've seen, but not all aged and weird. He looks like kind of young and beautiful almost. And he's in this really intricate armor, and he's sitting in like the throne, pulling this helmet with all these cables and hoses down from like the ceiling and trying to like put it on his head as he taps, frustrated at the different control panels. As you come in, he turns and looks at all of you, just like there's no big deal. Like, he's expecting you, and he's just like, Lothek, Seneschal. And he does like a little bow.
I'll bow back.
I'll bow back for sure. Try to kind of
definitely bows deep.
He like lets the helmet slide off his head. It like raises back up to the ceiling. And he says something else in his language for a moment. Then he kind of, I think, realizes that you can't understand him.
Mm-hmm.
And he touches like a weird crystal-like thing built into his armor on his chest. And his voice starts emanating out, but almost kind of like a little robot-like. And the crystal starts glowing with what's pretty obviously magic. And he says something in his language, and it like kind of translates into a weird, crunchy-sounding voice. And he's like, please, tell me how to fix the control helmet, or I shall kill you for suffering the sins of flesh and death. He just like looks at you expectantly and like kind of stands up from the throne.
If I may ask, how is it broken?
It no longer activates or responds to my thoughts.
And when did this happen?
I think he'll think about it for a minute and be like, 876 years ago, when we first landed here, when our crawler stopped moving. He chirps again. Activate the control helmet, or suffer the consequences. The ape, the ape, like, kind of crawls up through the hatch at this point and just, like, huffing and puffing watches you from the corner.
Zuzu will walk up to the throne, I guess, and wink at everybody and put the helmet on.
All right, you sit on the throne, and immediately, as the helmet touches your head, there's just like a flash, an insane, just mixture, a storm of power and data and sensations in your mind. Make a saving throw. I'm gonna say intelligence. No, sorry, it's wisdom. No, it is intelligence. Sorry. Nice.
I get zapped. You see some smoke come out of my ears.
So, I think you immediately are filled with, like, a god-like power. Like, you feel potency. You feel incredibly powerful. Like, this is the best feeling thing you've ever felt. You're immediately lost to your surroundings, Zuzu. Like, everything in your body tells you, like this is home. Like, I should never take this helmet off. This is what I've been waiting for my entire life. And then a monotone voice says, first in another language, and then it, like, almost decodes in real time into the same language, into Artish. It says, command line.
Activate? Try and type in activate.
Make one more intelligence check at disadvantage, and I'm also gonna say add 3 for the dungeon level.
Oh no!
Oh my god. It's like those where you wish there was sanity checks.
Yeah, right.
Come on, Zuzu, you got this.
Oh!
So it doesn't hurt you or anything. You just can't understand how to make it work. It's incredibly complex. You feel it in your thoughts and, like, in your head. You do feel super powerful, and it does feel like nirvana. Like, you do never want to leave still, but you also aren't sure how to, like, make the ship activate. I think what it is, it's just hard for you to even focus on that. You're so, like, lost in, like, starlight and, and power.
Can I speak?
You can, but you're not sure if they can hear you. Like, you can only hear them if you really, really focus on it. You don't hear 95% of what they're saying. But you can, like, you can speak, though.
I'll say, I'll try and speak. I'll try and say, like, I think I came close. Is there a trick to operating this?
I mean, were we able to hear that, I guess?
Yeah, the creature just says, like, it won't accept my command line.
You want me to try a command that, or
Can you explain what these command lines are, first off?
yeah, this is not my technology, so I see the command line, and I feel I came close to doing something with it. I just don't know precisely what you want.
Yeah, he, like,
What you tried.
he rattles off a long string of words in his language, and his communication crystal, like, doesn't translate it. And, you're having such a hard time concentrating on anything external. You hear, like, just so little of it. It's impossible for you to repeat any of it. And he tries to repeat it a few more times and begins to get frustrated. His communicator says, he, like, turns to the rest of you, and his communicator says, as he, jabbers on, like, your friend must activate the crawler or pay.
All right, let's take this one step at a time. First off, it is clear that your command line may not be functional right now. Is there a way we can create a new one? As far as I'm concerned, it looks like this thing is working on some level.
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on again?
That's great. That's a great idea. Have you tried turn? Wait, is that what we just did though?
He just keeps barking like, "Make it work or suffer. You have committed the sin of mortal flesh. Humans are an abomination. You serve no purpose. If you cannot activate the crawler, you shall die."
Hold up, Mister. Are you the Seneschal?
He just nods and says, "Xhom."
Xhom. Okay. Seneschal Xhom. Is there maybe like some written manual that was lost somewhere in this arc that we could help you find, that, you know, could tell you how to reset this thing or how to make a new command line?
The translator chirps out in, like, you know, almost chip-tuned sounding voice. Like, it sounds like a speak and spell. It's like, the ship is built to coordinate with the thoughts of the Elden race.
I look at Zuzu. Does he look Elden?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Eld. Some forgotten people.
Yeah, I mean, I could ask for a check, but I sincerely doubt that I'll know anything.
I don't think anyone would know about them. They've only been in this
Yeah.
arc for the last 800 years.
All right, listen. We know you want your fancy toy to work, and that you'll kill us if we don't make it work, but you gotta fucking meet us halfway. Now, it looks like we can do something to help you here. And abomination or no, it looks like you're a little bit reliant on what us puny humans can do for you. So, how about we reach an accord before we take any drastic measures? We help fix your ship, and we get to leave alive, and let you take your fancy ship to wherever the hell you want it to go.
I have no faith that you puny humans can fix my ship. You will serve better as biofuel for the pods, just like the other humans.
Well, it seems like Zuzu has already made progress, so maybe stow the pessimism.
He has made no more progress than I in 1,000 years. You shall join the other humans until you can be regurgitated into biofuel.
Mr. Xhom, real quick, can I ask you a question? If the Ark's been sealed and shut for that long, how did these other people get in here?
The Ark is not sealed. The Eld hunt at night. Thieves break in, searching for artifacts. The High Portal has been breached many times in the past 10 years.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there's a bunch of people about to try to come through that door. We were actually here to stop them and help. Well, we didn't know you were here, but we wanted to, you know, prevent them from getting in here.
Why would you prevent our biofuel source from entering?
Yeah,
This
that's
is
what I was thinking.
This is wonderful news. We shall not hunt for weeks.
We didn't know you existed. But we love what you've done with the place.
He turns to the gorilla and he says, "With the other humans."
Well, hang on a minute. Now, there's just only one of us. He's not even the guy that does machines in the group. Now, there's a lot of us that might be able to do something to help you. You just let one. I mean, he just walked in. He's the one who walks in and makes sure it's not going to kill anybody. Now we see he doesn't look like he's getting killed in there. So I think we should all get a chance. I mean, you're a mighty eternalness.
Makes a good point.
He's not stopping you. He looks at the throne and he's like, "Make the ship work, or join the other humans to be remeditated it to biofuel.
Who wants to go next?
I look at Cedric and I say, it seems like Zuzo hasn't been harmed by this machine, so it should be relatively safe, and you've got a whole lot of brain power. I think that you might stand a good shot.
I would give it a shot. It doesn't seem to be exactly
Keep in mind,
up my alley.
keep in mind, Zuzu still has the helmet on and has not taken it off. Zuzu, everything in your body tells you never take this off.
Yeah, I'm not even hearing any of this.
Yes, for the most part.
So Cedric could be like walking up, not even realizing that Zuzu's not really hearing, just thinking he's like,
Okay. My go.
Yeah, he doesn't even move. He just sits in the throne, like gripping white knuckled, on the armrest of the throne.
Zuzu.
Zuzu. Okay.
No answer.
You're gonna see me just with like 1,000-yard stare. There's no registering.
Cedric, maybe hold off. I don't think that looks normal.
Cedric goes to take the helmet off of him just because he's like, I think it's done something to him. And he goes to pull it off.
All right, yeah, you pull it off. Zuzu, it feels like being ripped out of space and time. It's the worst feeling you've ever felt.
Yeah, I just like reach out and grab Cedric's throat.
Oh, and I am on there, and I'm trying to pry them away.
All right, yeah, I think it takes a good 30 seconds before you really realize what you're doing at all, Zuzu. And Cedric, you're like turning purple, I think, as you kind of come to, Zuzu. And Eretti's able to, probably pry you off, but you're just like stuck gasping in the chair. Veins throbbing out of your forehead.
Cedric, are you okay?
I suppose so.
Oh my God, Zuzu! She run over and like try to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, you know
Cedric,
what?
not Zuzu.
Zuzu, being a human feels like the most disappointing experience you've ever had in your life now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for that helmet. Like, where's the helmet?
Yeah, it still dangles like up in the ceiling. You could pull it back down out of the pod if you wanted to.
I'm snatching it back.
Could I, as he's doing that, could I try to wrench him out of the chair?
I think he's got the helmet like halfway on his head. I don't want to get too into PvP here.
True. Yeah, true.
He's already got it onto his head, like flopped back into the chair.
All right, well, where does this thing plug in? Is there somewhere? Maybe it's not the problem in the helmet. Maybe it's the problem in the core that leads here. So where's the rest of the doohickeys that make this thing run? We're gonna fix this for you. I just know we can do it.
I can
I'm
take
just
you.
muttering like activate, like.
Trying all the command words.
Yeah, I'm just like, start, stop, reset, like every single like thing is just like, and like protect me, like don't let the helmet get off my head, like, just trying to like.
All right.
This thing go.
So Xhom is like, I can show you to the engineering room, but this is your last attempt to activate. Then you should join the other humans for biofuel.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, won't we?
It's not a bridge, it's a room. Come.
We'll cross that room when we get to it.
And then he leads you towards the stairs.
She's gonna say to Cedric on the way, like, well, honestly, I think I'm glad that maybe we didn't put your head in that little helmet because it seems to got Zuzu all messed up.
Yeah, I guess he was going to leave Zuzu there for the time being and head to the engineering room. It's not far, but they do leave the gorilla with Zuzu watching him. And as you come down the tower and back into the officer's lounge where you were before, the 5 Eld guards are still there, and they follow you into the next room with Xhom. Which is the engineering room. It's on the map, just a big square. But there's only one entrance, the entrance you come into, right? Inside the room, there are 3 large glass and metal hamster wheel-like structures. And inside are insane-looking, like, kind of chaotic abomination goblin-like homunculi in each one. And only one of them is running on its wheel. The other 2 are, like, asleep in their tanks.
How long have they been asleep?
He looks at you and he's like, how many times must I tell you? 800 years. They are sick. Their eyes crusted over with astral glycering.
Oh, well, there's your problem.
Are they dead?
No, they are sick. But we shall not access them. If we do, this world would be destroyed. And we'd have to return to our world.
Oh,
Across the ocean. If the crawler's not working, we cannot return. Fix the crawler or perish. You have committed the sin of mortal flesh.
Yeah, we committed sin, yada yada yada. All right. I look at already looks at Cora. They said you can't get access, but this looks like something that a healer could handle.
I don't want to destroy our world. If excuse me. I might have a way with the sick folk, and I'd be willing to try and make your boys better here, but I don't want to do any world destroying. So, could you help me out a little bit and help me understand what's going on? Are they sick? Do they need healing?
I think he would be like, the disease that ails them is from beyond this place.
Well, my powers are from beyond this place as well, but I don't know if that's gonna work here. These three guys running. This is all that's in here.
He kind of scoffs. You can even tell, in his own language that he scoffs. He's like, do you know how long it takes to wrangle 3 homunculi of these sort to power a crawler of this size?
No, I didn't mean
If you
that's
enter one of
all.
their chambers, you will be decimated instantaneously.
Yeah, I didn't mean that's all that's in here. Like that, they ain't enough. I just meant, is there anything else that might be in here that might help me out a little bit? She's like trying so hard to like not just die,
He's like, what could you try that I have not already tried to heal the creatures? By the way, they're like cat-sized. They're tiny.
Oh, they're teeny tiny and adorable.
How do you feed these things and give them like nutrition?
They do not eat. They do not require nutrition. They absorb matter. Magic. Madra. From between reality and the spirit world.
Oh.
Well, could we give
So
them
we-
a little bit of magic?
He looks at you and he's like, do you think I have not tried? He like taps this like crazy axe like sword on his side, which is like literally vibrating with movement.
Well, maybe they might need something more concrete. Something with actual physicality to it, not magic in all of its abstract form. Fuck it, yeah, I'll pull out the Nazarite powder. Maybe you should try medicine of some sort.
He just points to like a little tank on the wall with like a big clear pneumatic tube that goes up and down and into a little in-between chamber and then down into the cell. Or into, each pod with the hamster wheel-like thing in it. It's like, one of the tubes at the bank.
Oh, a pneumatic tube.
Yes, I said. Did I say
Okay.
that?
I actually don't remember if you said pneumatic. Whatever.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. Okay, I'm going to Does each like hamster wheel have their own individual tube, or are they kind of like all connected?
They all connect.
Okay, so I'm going to put my Nazarite powder in there and see if it'll get shooped along.
It does, yeah. Like it goes into this intermediate chamber, which like spins it like a cyclone of wind, and kind of filters it into the air into just like glittering powder. That kind of, gently filters down like a snow globe into each container. The one that is awake is incredibly excited, and it's just like licking the walls of the container. It has this like gigantic forked demon-like tongue that's purple, and it's just licking the dust off the walls of the container. And then like running as fast as it can on the thing. The lights like flicker each time it does it. And then it licks again. One of the other creatures like perks up a little bit. It like cracks one of its crusty eyes open and like yawns, and some of the powder gets on its tongue. It like kind of crawls over to the glass and like rolls over and lays on its back, so the powder is hitting its belly, but then it just kind of goes back to sleep. Either way, Xhom seems very excited. He's like, this is incredible. You've caused the creatures to stir for the first time in 800 years. What is this substance? Where has it come from?
It's called... How much is that information worth to you?
I require more of the substance, or I shall kill you for your sins of being mortal.
Yeah, sins of being mortal. Alright, fine. This is something called Nazarite powder, or stone lotus. It's something native to this region. Something that has to be mined. Then refined following that.
How do I acquire this, and why do you have such a material?
It's a drug. It makes you feel good. Which means that you have to buy it using, money. Do you have that?
I can procure this legally at the market.
Actually, Nazarite powder? Yeah, I think that one's legal.
It is not.
Oh, Nazarite. Oh, okay, so Nazarite is not.
That and ghoul powder, those are the two that are like no-nos.
Well, you might have to go through some shady channels, but there are ways of procuring this.
We might know a guy.
Might know a guy.
We might know a guy.
Point is, we'll be able to find you more of this to power your ship and get your little beasts up and moving again. But without us, you're still going to be stuck here for all eternity. So, are we going to come to an accord?
Like 4 guards come rushing in the door and catch his attention, and they start, bickering at him in their language excitedly. And he turns to you and he's like, "Please forgive me. There's a breach. More biofuel has entered the ship. We have a deal. You may leave, but I shall accompany you in disguise."
Can't you just put all that biofuel outside right now and just lock the door again?
We require their sustenance to fuel the
Yeah.
pods.
Okay, can we get you, like, non-humanoids to fuel your pods? How about that? We get you a few cows, and we put them in here to be your biofuel sustenance. How does that sound?
There is only one way to find forgiveness of the sins of mortal flesh.
And how's that?
To use mortal flesh to become unending.
Oh, sure, okay, so cows will work just fine for that. They're mortal flesh, ain't they? They're mortal.
He just looks at you and says, "Cows?"
Yeah, cows. Moo. Or maybe chickens. Bok bok. They're flesh, they're mortal, they're sinful. And you can get them in much easier quantities than it is fetching all of us human biofuel.
Lesser beasts have a lower attunement level of spirit energy from the mirror world.
That's fine. You just need a lot of them then, don't you?
You know where to get 500 cows?
Yeah.
I would have found such a place.
Well, you clearly didn't, now didn't you?
My scans would have revealed such life forces.
Yeah, well, apparently your scans didn't find this.
Hey, what about birds? Okay, I got about 1,000. I got so many birds for you.
Oh yeah, birds with like sentience and intelligence and
They're
magic
higher,
and stuff.
higher power. But these birds are smart as a whip.
Bring one to me,
Yes.
so I may attest the attunement level of its soul.
Yep, sounds good.
Goodness. One other problem though. What about Zuzu? He seems to be really fond of that chair and that thing on his head, the helmet.
I'm not taking it off again.
Well, can't we just like incapacitate him for a minute, knock him out, get it off his head, and then get him out of here before he can put it back on? I mean, we're gonna have to use some tough love here.
Yeah, honestly, it's not like it's got like spikes going into his brain, so we can get him out of the chair.
Your friend has seen beyond time and beyond the ocean. He knows much that he cannot remember. It will always be painful for him now. Human spirits do not have the attunement level to handle the power of our mind control devices.
He's always kind of been like that. I think you'll be fine.
I don't like how he said mind control.
Why didn't you tell us that before you had him put it on?
I need you to fix the crawler, or I shall make you pay for your sins of mortal flesh.
Being mortal flesh. Yeah, okay, we get it. We get it. You said it. We understand. Sins of being mortal flesh. Yeah.
Actually, I don't fully understand. What exactly is the sin of mortal flesh again?
He like pulls his humming, whirring, vibrating sword axe off of his belt and like steps forward like he's gonna lunge it into your gut.
I step between
Okay,
them. All
okay.
right, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Sins of mortal flesh, we get it. We understand. Because we're mortal, we are sinful.
Humans
Trying to
are
lighten the mood.
humans are fragile. Eld are unending.
Eld are also stuck in this barge, and you're gonna need humans to get you out of it.
Come, I shall don my disguise. He like leads you back into the tower.
I cannot wait to figure out what disguise this guy comes up with. I feel like he's gonna look like Will Ferrell from like Zoolander.
Yeah, I'll just say I'm really looking forward to this. It's gonna be hilarious.
I think he just pulls out a cloak with like a big deep hood and big, kind of baggy sleeves. But this cloak is made of bright gold material, like shimmering. Now, the cloaks and clothing you saw before from, the kids outside only had like the silver and gold cloth in like patterns and embroidery, like never solid. Like the material was never fully made of that, right? But this guy's wearing like a completely golden cloak, like hood combo. Also, his tall head makes him look like, 8 feet tall. Under the
Don't
cloak.
you have anything more inconspicuous?
This is a human garment taken from the tower.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
it's
God.
like it really, really stands out, and everyone's gonna notice you. And I guarantee that ain't a good idea for you or us or them.
So is this like a holy garment?
Yeah, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, hold up. You took this from the tower, as in like you stole this from the tower, or the tower is a part of this barge?
800 years ago, when the tower crashed, we explored the surrounding areas. Our scanners were down. We discovered the tower. Inside, a skeleton. Wearing a cloak of pure gold. Next to some sort of ancient cloth-making device. It has kept me warm through many desert nights since landing in your strange land.
Kind of look
Actually
at
might
Cora.
be the best
Yeah, I think that
disguise.
she just has I mean, her eyes are filling with tears. They're just, I mean, she just has this look, like, and looks at you guys like with this just, it's like she's pleading with, like, it's like she's hurting and she's confused and it's too much. It's too much. She is just stuck and
He-
she's like trying to.
He seems callous to it. He's like, "Come, let us go to the human town, to the market." And he
Oh, I'm
starts
sure he has no idea.
he starts walking past you and he's like, "I will see that my guards drive the biofuel out. and those that we've captured stay alive until our return.
Works for me. I'm gonna let him kind of like take the lead a little bit and lag behind with my boys and girls. I'm gonna say, all right, well, we got spare biofuel apparently, but honestly, I ain't got a fucking idea who we can talk to get more. Oh, you know what? Awa might
Awa.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he talking about Ark City or is he talking about the little settlement outside? Because I'm worried he's talking about the little settlement outside.
I think we're supposed to lead him. He's just coming with us to make sure if we do anything unjust that he can deal
sinful.
with us. Yeah.
Sinful of the flesh and whatever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So he goes to the big mechanized column in the center of the room and calls like an elevator that you don't even, I think, hadn't realized was in there. And he's like, "We'll take the lower hatch. No one shall see us leave."
Works for me.
Are we just gonna leave Zuzu here?
We ain't got no choice in that matter. Zuzu made his bed. We're
He,
gonna have to pull him out of it.
I think he's like, "I will have Zizor bring your friend down, if you wish."
Is that the name of the primate?
He just like he nods as he like slides on his weird pointed head helmet, and he like holds some fingers up to his temple, like Professor X style. And I think a moment later you just hear like a screaming sound. Zuzu, you're ripped out of your new reality by your new ape friend Zizor. And I think you try and fight and choke, but he's just got 4 huge gorilla hands around you, you know. And he starts just like climbing with his huge feet down like through a hatch and down some like, you know, darkened pipes and from the tall ceiling down to the lower floor of the tower where you guys wait by the elevator. Zuzu's just like panting, tears streaming from his eyes, and the gorilla just has him held like a baby.
Never quite seen him like that. Zuzu, are you okay?
Uh,
I'm gonna take that as a maybe.
A strong maybe.
Alright, come on, Zuzu, feet on the ground.
I'm just kind of like dry heaving and like sweaty as hell.
Yeah. Zizor like slowly puts you down on the floor.
He is really active. I'm going to take the Willaroo out of my bag and I'm going to say, Zuzu, chew on this.
Yeah, I don't even
was
know
that?
what's in my mouth at this point. Doesn't taste any different.
Yeah, at this point you guys have seen already produce 2 different hard narcotics in like 10 minutes.
Shoved one of them into some unsuspecting.
Yeah. He's right though,
Real
it
healer.
it does make you feel better. It's like a stimulant, you know. It's like doing like a beetle nut.
Yeah, like kind of snap out of it.
Alright, you're back
Nervous
with us?
system starts up again. Yeah. What? Where am I?
Just keep chewing. We'll sort you out on... We're taking a nice walk.
Okay.
Our new friend Zom here is accompanying us into the city so that we can find, I believe, birds and drugs.
Well,
He turns and looks at you and says, "Biofuel and astral medicine."
That's right. My mistake.
Yeah, what you said.
all right.
You guys step in the elevator and it whooshes down, also filled with weird lights and panels and hoses and so forth, and it opens to some doors. that lead to, the desert.
Well,
Uh,
now we know this place is a back door.
I'm sorry, would you have one of your people bring down our weapons?
He like sighs and he's like, we should wait one moment, and he like does his little Professor X thing again. I think you guys have to wait a while. It'll take him a minute to get into this side of the barge, but eventually they do, and they bring them down in the elevator and give them to you.
Missed you, my darling. Welcome back, Ramona.
Cedric like checks the staff, maybe a little bit too preciously.
All right, Seneschal Xhom, you ready to get a move on?
He just like flips the hood up over his tall head, his golden cloak shimmering in the late afternoon light of the desert. Take me to the human market. But do not make me speak with them. I am disgusted by their sins of mortality.
That's fine. It's gonna be quite a while until we get to the right market, though. So you're gonna have to be patient.
No,
And
the human market is just around the other side of the barge.
Okay, if you're gonna blend in, you can't call it the human market. You have to just call it the market.
Why human?
Because we assume it's the human market.
That's a real good point.
How will they know that I am above them and they are disgusting mortal flesh wounds, just waiting to die and deteriorate away?
I look up at his 8-foot frame. I think they'll know.
Yes, I
Right
would.
now, you don't want them to know that. If they know that, they might think that you're their god, which isn't always a bad thing, but it's not always a good thing. Or they might
We'll have
think you're a
them following you
false
around
god.
all the time.
Yes,
Oh, that's a good point.
then I would have as much biofuel as I needed. I shall tell them I'm their god. Come. And he
Well,
starts
no.
walking towards the market.
God damn it, gang. God damn it, gang. All right, no. You don't want them following you around because you don't want to interact with them.
I suppose you're right. They're filthy.
They're filthy. You don't want to talk to them, and so long as you keep your privacy, then they won't bother you. How about that?
Yes, lead on then.
Yes, don't play with your food.
To the human, to the trading post.
Actually, see, we've got to go much further than that. The small market's not where we left our guy that we could hook you up with. It's the other part of town, the big arc. Or I guess in your situation, the small arc.
He's like, I've checked that crawler. It no longer functions as well.
Oh yeah. Big use.
No, the man with the Astral fuel connection is there, along with the biofuel substitute.
He just looks at you with his weird pursed lips and says, lead on. Through his weird blinking crystal.
All right, we lead them on.
Alright, yeah, so you guys slip through the market and start heading the road back, joining, a bunch of religious tourists who are on their way back now to Ark from the Rimspire. Yeah, I think you see, all the men encamped around the antiquarian carts at the ramp as you slip away. Let's see
Ooh.
here.
Gotten ourselves into it deeper, it seems.
Which will lead us to about... Oops, let me put you back here. What time did you go in? Early, 9 in the morning. That probably took... Yeah, it's probably still afternoon. You can make some headway back towards Ark. So that's where we'll leave you, heading back to Ark as the sun gets close to setting.
Nice.
What an interesting story we've stumbled into.
Yeah, it makes me like the Reclaimer actually a lot more. The Reclaimers are growing on me.
Why? Because he didn't want anyone to come in here?
Well, just because at least he's not, he didn't refer to us as biofuel.
Yeah, at least he isn't a raging, huge xenophobic racist.
Yeah, he's awful. But you guys are so funny, and I am having so much fun. This guy, I figured it out. He is Killface. Did you guys ever watch Frisky Dingo?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
No.
like imagining.
He is 100% Killface. Wow.
Yeah, he's Killface for sure.
I love Frisky Dingo Season 2 is incredible.
Yeah, it's the best. And I think that Cora just hasn't said anything. Basically, since this cloak came out, she's just been choking on her whole life, or just like she can't speak. So zombifying going on with you guys.
All right. Anybody get any goals?
Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, that's for y'all to decide.
I had Explore the Golden Barge from last time. I did that one.
Yeah, you definitely explored the Golden Barge. Not fully, but you got some exploration in, for sure. Seeing those pods in the engine rooms were both very illuminating as to how everything is working in there. So take an XP for that.
I think that's really all I got. I had caused problems for the Reclaimer. I mean, I don't know. That could still happen.
Yeah. Dante, your first one, learn how Cedric harnesses his magic, where he believes it comes from. You talked about that. I don't think it was super hard, though. Just take a half XP.
That's fine. I'll do it.
I'll find a way to seal the barge, no matter what. I mean, you did seal it for the time being. You could technically just take this dude back to the Reclaimer and be like, job done.
So should I take
I'll
experience for sealing it or no?
Yeah, I'll give you an XP for that too.
Still very far away from 4, so it's all good.
I will return to the silk farm. Not yet. I will be the one to face the dangers in the Golden Barge first. Yeah, you did. I mean, pretty much lead the party the whole time. I think putting the helmet on really seals the deal on that one for you, though, Zuzu.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very dangerous bargain. I'll give you an XP for that. I kind of, because it was such an interesting part of the story and it was such good roleplay, I kind of want to give you 2. Does everyone agree?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
2 XP for that one. Good job. That was good goal fulfillment there. I'll return to find Awa. Yeah, so you can do that next one now. Things are going to get real interesting with Awa here in a minute. Let's see, you ready? I don't know if you proved yourself as the leader yet. Oh, and sure, we're the only team to delve the depths of the barge. I mean, the other team did make entrance, but they were either captured or forced back out.
Yeah, specifically delve the depths. No one got near as far as we did.
True.
And now there's a chance that they could later, so it might not be like a finalized goal yet. But
yeah, I mean, also, were you the one that directly convinced him about the crows? I guess you were a part of that conversation, right?
certainly,
Yeah, so I'll give.
someone else suggested crows.
But yeah, you were still part of like trying to alternative fuel to people. I think you brought up the cows, right? Was it you that said you knew where to get 100 cows?
Absolutely, I was lying out my ass at that point. But
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll
the crows did, no.
definitely give you an XP for that one then. I'll come in Cedric Core. Dante, we can't keep running from our pursuers. I'll figure out what the fuck is going on with Cedric's staff and the birds. Not yet, but making headway. Cora, go to a church or place of worship. You're so close.
I know.
Demonstrate value through my combat prowess. Not
I
yet.
wish I had said through strength, which is what I had before because I rolled that nat 1 on the door.
Oh, that's
but it
true.
wasn't combat.
That's true. Change your perception of the Bone Legion among Arc City's common folk. Working on it. Take a leap of faith in an effort to leave a bad situation.
I was thinking maybe the last one because we got tied up. You know what I mean? Like being taken prisoner, but
Yeah, that was somewhat of a leap of faith. This goal to me is just a little muddy. It's not my favorite written goal. I think
yeah, I know. I was like,
it's
gonna
too
ask about it before we
broad.
started, but
I think.
well, I'll try to clear it up.
Let's
find
see.
You know what I mean? Figure something out.
Let me look at your other ones real quick. Yeah, I think it was a big leap of faith. Who was it that really decided to like throw in their weapon first?
I think that was Zuzu, right?
Yeah, I think it was Zuzu.
Yeah, I feel like Cora, you were one of the ones that the hardest time like giving up your weapon.
Right, which is why I consider it a leap of faith instead of like just like a leap of faith toward my group, not toward like the enemy.
Yeah, again, see like that
But
the way
it's
it's
cool,
the
like-
way it's written, like it's more general, so it feels more like a belief. Like I need to take leaps of faith in order to leave bad situations. Then it would have been like acting on a belief because you would be like, you know, fighting to give into your belief, which is kind of what I see. For now though, I'll give you an XP for that one. But I think again that's something I feel like that is suited more to beliefs than XP than goals.
Okay, cool.
Maybe. Anybody else got any ones? Any other beliefs come into play?
I feel like my belief might have come into play with using the when everything else was failing, taking a practical solution with using the alternative medicine to solve the problem rather than straight sorcery.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rock that contains like, you know, magic though. That's
Sure, but I mean, I as a ready and as a player kind of differentiate sorcery used by people and innately magical things.
Sure.
I mean, it's fine if we don't give it a thing. I just had to make a case for it.
No, yeah, you definitely like. I mean, we're working on it. You mentioned it too. Also, when someone said they were gonna use a spell, you were like, "Oh, you're gonna do it with magic." I think it was you were talking to Cedric.
Oh, yeah, that was with Cora. I was like, "Oh, you're not gonna do the practical. You're gonna do magic."
Oh,
And
find the traps.
I
Yeah.
was really disappointed by that.
These are 2 new beliefs that I came up with at the beginning of the session, so
Nice.
I kind of erased all my other ones.
Your first one I liked, but I almost feel like you went completely against it. Like you were more interested in what the others felt was right. But maybe that is what you feel was right.
Yeah, and then really it was more the laying down the weapons. I just had a feeling that like we shouldn't fight these 8-foot tall dudes in like power armor.
Yeah, true. And when stuck at an impasse, always be the first to jump. I like that. Those were both good. I feel like you played on them both. I don't know if it's enough to get an XP yet. I guess
If I continue, I'll follow through with some of these.
you were the first one to put on to take your weapon down though, right? Put your weapon down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. I think I am gonna give you an XP for that one then. Because that really changed how the whole dungeon unfolded.
Yeah, I was definitely the first one to like raise my hands up and be like, "Yo, I saw them getting their weapons." I was like, "Chill out." Kind of felt like we caught somebody at mealtime and they were a little taken aback. So I don't know.
That was so crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, just think about new beliefs and goals. A lot has happened, so you have a lot of fodder for like your belief could be about the Eld or the Barge or about Xhom or about biofuel. Like there's, keep tying it back into new things that pop up in the story if you can. But everybody did a good job. Lots of good XP this session. What were you gonna say, Cora?
I was just. It seems like Cora, like the more she wants to go, like she needs to go to church so bad because like the last few sessions, like her cleric abilities have been like not what she's using to get by, and it's really, I really love that the dice are kind of making it work that way too, because her strength every single time is what was saving her ass anytime she needs it, and anytime she's trying to do something that's based on her religion, it's either a failure or it's not applicable. So I love that when she finally does get to go to the church, I'm really looking forward to hopefully that making a big difference.
I'm very excited for her to get there and like kind of see how these practitioners from far away like do the same religion that she has.
Yeah.
They'll all be like, "Holy shit, she's shredded! My God, look at those muscles."
Yeah, it's just so
Zuzu-
funny that that's the way it's working out.
Zuzu is also a follower of the Mother, the Father, and the Son, or whatever.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
definitely. I don't know. Did y'all pick a religion? I definitely picked a religion.
I didn't.
Yeah, you're generally old gods or new gods. You know, new gods are popular. Old gods are traditional and and usually foreign, like northern.
I don't see myself being a particular follower of anyone.
Yeah, most people are casual new god followers. You know, there's a god for everything. So
I love the god of really cool looking axes.
yeah,
Right, well, I'm rolling my level because I just hit 3. So.
Nice. Congrats, dude. Ooh, that's rough. You got con though, right?
Yep.
You can re-roll or roll
And-
something again.
And charisma going up 1.
Nice.
Actually, kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I just got zapped and like actually did some talking for a couple times. I'm gonna roll strength again.
Man, what was I gonna say about the session? Oh, the map and those images I was showing this, and really the idea for the Golden Barge, all came from a little OSR zine I bought called Slumbering Ursine Dunes. It's the follow-up to another zine I have called Fever Dreaming Marlinko, which is about like a desert city. I haven't used that at all. I don't like that one as much. I don't really love Slumbering Ursine Dunes, but I really did like this dungeon idea. I pretty much stripped out all of the innards. Like I changed the monster and stuff like that. But the map and all the images, and the image of Xhom I got from the book, and the gorilla idea I got from the book. I really liked those images and the little map. I thought it was great.
I dig it.
Yeah, super scary.
Good, I'm glad. They had it as like ghouls, but I liked, I've been running so much ghouls in my other games lately.
So that's why he slipped up and said ghouls.
It is, yeah, but I had already decided I actually wasn't going to use ghouls long before I even did it.
Yeah, I love that too. That they weren't like she couldn't use her undead power. Like there's just so much. It's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're more like immortals than undeads,
yeah, mechanically frustrating, but like has me super excited for the story.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really interesting. I really didn't expect the dungeon to unfold that way. I thought you were gonna fight your way through it and possibly kill Xhom and the gorilla at the end. Can you imagine what that fucking boss fight would have been like? A 4-armed gorilla in like a giant vertical tower.
Honestly,
That
I
would've been
was
so
kind of
terrifying.
like that would have been terrifying. I was kind of hoping for us to get into a big fight because I like the entire like concept of this environment and these enemies. It just sounds really cool. It would have been cool to have a really tough as nails fight.
Yeah, their staves like kind of shoot little sunbeams. They're not just stabs. They're like little fire, little hurlants. That's like I was kind of like trying to put off Stargate vibes. If anyone ever watched Stargate.
Yeah,
Yep.
Fucking the Goa'uld.
Yeah, Stargate's rad.
I still love that. I mean, those helmets. I still think that's some dope CGI and like.
Oh, I love the
Really well
Stargate
done.
movie. The movie is great.
That
Yeah.
movie is so well done. Those helmets like coming on and off and like I don't know. It's just sick.
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna go watch it now.